We're almost at the halfway point of the season, and the teams are starting to carve out a path to the playoffs. And for the past 2 seasons, that path has gone right through Sims, Alabama, with Zach Golson and his Vikings winning back-to-back region titles. Tonight, Foley comes in looking to knock off the number 4 ranked Vikings and keep their playoff hopes alive. It's time for some big boy football between Foley and MGM for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Al Whedon, along with Corey LaMounty. We appreciate you tuning in. Corey, we finally get some 7A Region 1 football.
Yeah, we call that big boy football, just like you said in your introduction. And tonight's game is going to be a pivotal game to determine playoff seeding some 4 or 5 weeks from now. And it's going to start off with MGM having a 14-game home winning streak and Foley coming in trying to end that.
They are trying to end that. Foley's been up and down. They're 2-2. They come into this ball game. A big loss last week to Daphne. And look at MGM. Back-to-back region titles. Basically, MGM has been undefeated in region play for 2 years.
Yeah, it's been very impressive. The culture that Zach Golson has been able to bring to the Sims community and the pride of MGM football. And when you look at some things that have to go well tonight, Al, I think that Corey's checklist will point to Foley and what they need to do well. They need to roar to the run. And what do I mean by that? It's going to be very important for them to stop this very potent running game that Zach Golson has implemented this season. Also, feast or famine Foley. Coach Scott has talked about them playing and scoring a lot of points or scoring very little points. And also, don't be young and restless. This is a very young Foley Lions squad that consists a lot of sophomores, not a lot of upperclassmen, and they can't be restless and let this big boy football hit them in the mouth. On the flip side of that, for the MGM Vikings, they need to bring that Viking viciousness. What do I mean by that? Defensive dominance is where Alex Page has hung his hat the last few years. Also, limiting penalties is going to be important for MGM, and they need to be trouble in the trenches, dominating the line of scrimmage.
All right, we'll take a quick break and be right back. We'll get you impact players and check in on the BSN weather forecast. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Do you have a student who would benefit from a more flexible learning schedule? The MCPSS Academy of Virtual Learning was created for you. It's reimagining education for independent, motivated, responsible learners in grades 6 through 12. Students can take regular, honors, AP, or dual enrollment courses all at their own pace. And virtual learning doesn't mean isolation. Our teachers know their students and frequently work with them one-on-one. Are you ready to learn your way? Visit our website, mcpssvirtuallearning.com.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
We're back here at ES Grider Stadium getting ready for this 7A Region 1 battle. Right now it's time to check out the BSN weather forecast. We're going to bring in our third member of the crew, Kimberly Dunn. Kimberly, what will the weather be looking like tonight for us?
Now, Al, this week I have been keeping my eye on the sky because last week there was a very low chance of rain, but we still got it. This week there are no clouds above us tonight, so we are hopeful that that rain will not find us this evening. There's only a 15% chance for that tonight, but this is Mobile and anything can happen. Right now the temperatures on the field are feeling pretty good. We will have kickoff at 82 degrees, and it will slightly go down as the night continues on. Humidity is always the biggest factor. We're going to be starting kickoff at 60% humidity. But the biggest thing that we're going to be focused on tonight is that we will not have heat timeouts this evening. So this will be our first competition of the season without the heat timeout. So we will see how these players are able to fare as the competition continues tonight.
All right, Kimberly, we appreciate that. No heat timeouts, but I still brought me 2 towels, Corey, just in case of the rain and the humidity.
It's funny that Kim put the disclaimer out there that anything can happen when you're looking at Mobile, Alabama weather, as evident as last week, there being the dark clouds and then the sudden thunderstorms.
Well, that quick storm last week had an impact on us. Hopefully no impact tonight, but what players are making an impact for both of these teams?
Absolutely. For the Foley Lions, you look at Habit, wide receiver. He's a junior, number 4, Jackson Dixon, and he's not playing at 100% tonight, but I would rather have an 80 or 90% Jackson Dixon on my roster than none at all. Also, defensive back Dalen Hinton. He's going to make a difference maker on the secondary for the Foley Lions. For the home MGM Vikings, defensive back, and I did say defensive back, Al, number 8, Shundell Harris. He's a senior this year after playing quarterback last year out of necessity. He still spot plays on both sides of the ball, but this young man has a bright future, not only the rest of this season, but moving forward as well. And wide receiver, DJ Broughton. This young man is explosive, and you can tell by his build at 6'5", 225, why he is being recruited by Auburn and is verbally committed to play for South Florida at this point in time.
Yeah, Coach Golson told us the phone is ringing off the hook for this young man. We know he's verbally committed to South Florida, but now those SEC schools are starting to call for DJ Broughton Jr.
Yeah, you go out on the field, and as we walk the field in pregame, you just notice guys that are built and look different and just are at another level. And sometimes they look like a man among boys. And DJ Broughton, he just brings that type of swagger. And 1 year ago when he was hurt in the playoffs, it was critical for him not to play for the Vikings. To me, that led to them not being at full strength. And a healthy DJ Broughton makes a big difference for this Viking squad.
Absolutely does. We're just moments away from kickoff. We're going to take a quick break and come back, give you the coin toss, and then we'll be ready. Foley versus MGM. Don't you move.
Looking for unforgettable food and flawless service for your next event? Woodyard Catering is Mobile's top choice for personal chefs and customized catering. From weddings and baby showers to funerals and private dinners, we bring delicious, handcrafted dishes made with the freshest ingredients, reliable, friendly, full of flavor. Whatever the occasion, we serve it with care. Call Woodyard Catering today, because every event deserves a taste of excellence.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Sam's Alabama is fully loaded tonight, Corey. Not only is MGM hosting a football game tonight, the volleyball team is hosting a JV volleyball tournament. So before the game, I was over in the gym watching my daughter play some JV volleyball. And, man, it's about 8 or 9 teams of JV girls. So the parking lot is erupted with cars everywhere.
Always a tremendous crowd for the support of the Sims athletic programs here at MGM. But, again, a couple years ago, we were able to see this beautiful turf in Sims, Alabama, and now they have the new scoreboard that's been provided by MCPSS, and I know we're ready for our coin toss as well.
George Washam, our white hat tonight. Our buddy runs down there with the camera, so we're going to try to peek in. They will get some audio as well, but players are introducing themselves to each other as we're getting closer to kickoff, less than 3 minutes away from this 7A Region 1 battle.
Captains for a reason. Good sportsmanship all game long. Second person always good off. Something going on, we need to watch it. Let us know and let your coach know. Don't make it for yourself, all right? Do my business. Right here. All right, my man. Got a point. Two. What do you call? What did he call? Heads a call. It's head. One call.
All right, Foley, come this way. MGM, walk that way.
Hey, y'all walk. Come on back here, guys. Back up.
So Foley wins the toss, and they have elected couldn't see if they elected to defer or to receive, Corey. Our camera guy kind of moved a little sideways on us. But we are moments away from kickoff here. We'll take a quick break, come back and bring you the kickoff. You're watching MCPSS High School Football.
Mobile County Public Schools' Signature Academy program is here to help those students who want to jumpstart their career right out of high school. With more than 100 specialized courses ranging from engineering, computer networking, nursing, welding, and more, we prepare students for college and career readiness. To learn more, log on to MCPSS.com. Mobile County Public Schools' Signature Academy program, preparing students for life.
If you look at the numbers, Mobile County Public Schools is making great strides. With more than 53,000 students, 7,000 employees, and 90 schools, we are consistently increasing our four-year graduation rate and our first-class pre-K program. We continue to strive for national recognition and continue to prepare our students for the global workforce. And we do all of this with one goal in mind, to equip and empower college and career-ready graduates. Mobile County Public Schools. We're learning today, leading tomorrow.
We welcome you back to E.S. Grider Stadium as we get ready for kickoff. Foley won the toss, and so they've decided to defer. Kicking off for them will be number 27, Alberto Vargas. And back to receive for MGM, Jakenyon Allen and Elijah James setting up to receive this kickoff. I have not seen MGM in the powder blue unis in front of me in a long time, Corey.
Hey, I love the blue-on-blue format, and it's just a different color coordination and part of that spirit. It's the Jordan brand that they're wearing. So, again, the blue-on-blue, powder blue, that's my favorite color.
It looks beautiful.
And it does look great on this Viking. They're probably from the 35 to the 35 as far as depth and numbers are concerned, too.
And it does help us out with the depth of numbers. They typically wear black home uniforms here at MGM. Vargas punches it, and Elijah James stays away. He needs to hop on it. Didn't go into the end zone, and James is going to bring it back out. Comes to the near side here, outside the hash, outside the numbers. One of his teammates is in his way trying to block, but a flag is on the play. So before we get the lineup up for MGM, let's take a look and find out what this flag is going to be from George Washerman and the crew. Probably blocking the back or something of that magnitude.
Yeah, easy. Multiple blocks in the back to be called there.
Block in the back on the return team. Have the distance to the goal. First down.
Not where you want to be if you're Zach Golson and the Vikings. Let's take a look at that offense led by senior quarterback Jeremy Minhennett, who is a 60% passer with 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. When he throws, he'll try and connect with receivers Jakenyon Allen or South Florida commit DJ Broughton. Allen leads the Vikings in receptions, and Broughton averages 14 yards a grab. Running for MGM is converted linebacker Cam Smith, who averages 5 yards a carry with 4 scores on the season. Smith will run behind an experienced and hefty offensive line, averaging 289 pounds and anchored by right tackle Braden Patterson. It is 1st and 10 for MGM. And they hand it off. Picks up a couple yards on the carry. Cam Smith taking the 2nd down.
Great job of straight ahead running Malachi Dredd. The Mike linebacker, 6 foot, 175-pound junior on the stop, picking up at least 4 yards, 2nd and 6. And again, I mentioned in the past, the last 4 or 3 years, we've seen Zach Golson throw the ball everywhere. A more run-oriented game this season.
Toss out to Smith once again, the converted linebacker. He's a big boy. He gets closer to the first down marker. Nice run right there. Picks up 2 or 3 more. So it'll be 3rd and short, and the Vikings are in front of the sticks.
Another tackle by Malachi Dredd. Defensive coordinator Joyner Stewart on the call. His team giving up 18.8 points per game, but it brings up money down, 3rd and 3.
Ball at the 17-yard line of MGM. Back-to-back-to-back runs, and Cam Smith busts it out, looking to take it to the house on the 3rd play from scrimmage. Cam Smith, touchdown MGM on the board early.
That is a penalty flag that will negate an 80-yard touchdown run. And you hate to see that, because I talked about it in Corey's checklist. What does MGM want to stay away from? They wanted to stay away from the penalties. This one's going to hurt.
Personal foul on the offense. 15-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Not a hold, a personal foul called against the Vikings. And that's the big one, 15 yards.
And it will back up the Vikings. And just a little exercise, as you see, almost going untouched. Only 2 people were able to graze number 0, Cam Smith. But he shows his explosiveness. The 6'1", 215-pound junior had rushed for almost 400 yards. And there's another penalty. It's going to be on the coaching staff.
Wow.
And it's going to cost them another half the distance as well, unless it's going to be a sideline warning, depending on what was said and
Correct.
heard by the officials on the sidelines. And I know you don't like to see an 80-yard touchdown run being taken off the board without question, but Cam Smith's long run of the season had been 49 yards. And it's still going to stand at 49
Corey,
yards.
you shorted him a bit. That's 83 yards. They were on the 17-yard line.
So
actually, so
you look at an 83-yard touchdown run coming back, and you get a good shot there of an upset coach.
On the head coach. Half the digits to go. Repeat 3rd down.
And the Boo Birds are out. So that will make it 3rd down and about 12 coming up here for the Vikings. Ball's at the 8-yard line. Man.
Yeah, that's a huge pivotal play. But this MGM offense averages 33.5 points per game. Offensive coordinator Andrew Reeves is going to have to dial one up right here for 3rd and long.
Low snap, bobble, and jumping on top of it. Thomas White, Johnny on the spot to prevent a possible pickup right there. Could have been our first turnover of the ball game. So we'll get to see the special teams early here as punter comes out. Shondell Harris handles punting duties for MGM, backing up to receive the kick. That punt will be Jackson Dixon for Foley, and Harris is in his end zone.
He averages 41.7 yards per punt, though, so we'll see his leg right here be explosive.
And it's the fake. The fake is on. One got to beat, and he beats him. Shondell Harris uses the speed. Remember, as we said during your impact performance of him description, he was the quarterback last year for MGM. That was huge.
You could just put athlete next to him. He takes it from the shadows of his own end zone deep, almost 7 yards deep in the end zone, makes one man miss, bounces to the outside, no containment. It was lost by the Foley special teams, and it'll bring up a fresh set of downs for the MGM Vikings. What a great play call by head coach. And a gutsy
call right there
as well.
John Baxter, special teams coach. I'm pretty sure he had to get permission from Zach Colson to pull that one off. Another toss right there to Cam Smith. He's been wearing out the left side of the offensive line tonight with his runs. Nice run right there. Picks up about 6 or 7 yards.
Nice play by the secondary, but anytime you get to the second level, you're really worried about it, and that was Jackson Dixon making the tackle on that play. And again, a positive gain on first down for the Vikings.
5-yard pickup by Smith. Places it at the 26-yard line. Our first pass from Menhinnet, and he gets it out to Jakenyon Allen on the little tunnel screen, and some nice blocking right there by the Vikings. Picks up the first down.
That's what you have to have, good clean play at the line of scrimmage, and all 11 players working as one. That's what you saw on that first completion of the game by Jeremy Menhennet. And again, this young man has thrown for 547 yards so far this season.
18-yard pickup for the Vikings. We have a stoppage in play. Timeout called by Foley as they were on the ropes there, giving up that fake punt. While we got a break, thank our folks who've been taking care of us all season. Jersey Mike's. Make sure you check out Jersey Mike's if you're ready for all your game day and catering needs. They're the place to be. With subs by the box or by the bag, they can do it all. Tell them Alan Corey sent you and get the football discount on your order. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Also, we got to thank BSN Sports with team apparel and equipment from baseball to wrestling and all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com. Timeout call by Coach Derek Scott. He wants to talk to his team, Corey. That had to be a gut punch as MGM ran that fake punt deep, I mean deep in their own end zone area.
It's something that I guarantee head coach Scott didn't see coming by this team, and because of it, you keep the drive alive. A gutsy call does pay off, and you want to see now what this offensive line is going to be made of here on this drive.
Double stack receivers, another low snap to Menhennet. Pressure's on him. He unloads it, gets it out to Jakenyon Allen, and he kind of had to slow the afterburners there. A few of the Foley defensive backs were waiting for him, but it's a first down and more. That's the second low snap we've had to Menhennet tonight for MGM.
Colton Cooey, the 5'10", 255-pound junior at center, but being able to go ahead and make lemonade out of those lemons.
Another screen to Allen, but this time he is going to be held up by Foley behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe about a 1-yard loss, so it'll be second down and 11 coming up here for MGM.
Yeah, that tack Jackson Dixon again making the stop, but it will be a couple of yards positive. Well, they'll go ahead and say that he was thrown backwards, so no gain on that play. But Menhennet, you see how quickly he's still able to get the ball out of his hands. His first year at the helm, starting quarterback for MGM.
3 for 3 so far for the young man. Another one to Cam Smith. He's running north-south now as he busted up near the 20-yard line. MGM knocking on the red zone door, Corey.
And if we're able to go back, look at the jump stop in the hole here, the shiftiness of his feet and being able to accelerate. Great job showing and great camera work there of showing Cam Smith's agility in the hole right there. Another first down that started off deep in their own territory.
MGM just picked up their 4th first down on this drive. I think that's going to be a false start on Cam Smith.
A little bit.
Got a little jumpy back there in the formation.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Now, Corey, they picked up their 4th first down, but that's their 5th penalty of this drive, according to our statistician, Matt Moore.
And I talked about it again in my checklist to begin the game. It was the second thing that was on the list, limiting those penalties. And 5 opening drive penalties, almost unheard of, but the Vikings still driving the football down the field.
1st and 15 from the 27-yard line. DJ Broughton out there as well in the slot. They connected. Pass picked up by Breeze Brown. We'll give him credit for about 2 yards on the reception there. It looks like they're back at the 25-yard line.
Breeze Brown, what a great name. His 2nd reception of the season. The 6'1", 200-pound senior halfback showing his great versatility coming out of the backfield, being able to catch that pass.
11th play of the drive here for MGM. Trip receivers to the top. More movement. And MGM signaling it should be offsides.
Defense, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
George Washerman, the crew earning their check early tonight.
Second down, ball is spotted at the Foley 20-yard line.
So that'll give MGM 5 free yards. So we're up to the 20 now. 2nd and 6 here for the Vikings. Another flag.
Well, it's something.
And now MGM gives
5-yard penalty.
5 yards
down.
back, so that would be their 6th penalty of the ball game.
I know that.
Wow.
Normally after the game is laundry day for the team, but I do my laundry multiple times during the week as well, Al. But this is unreal here.
I do as well. I have twins, so I understand.
Just
wow.
Yellow not being the favorite color of the Vikings on this opening drive.
2nd and 13 is what they're calling it on the scoreboard here at E.S. Grider Stadium. Menhennet, time, they flush him out to the right. And he unloads it. Jakenyon Allen with the reception just inside of the red zone near the 18-yard line.
Being able to get positive yardage, and you can see Menhennet going through his progressions on that play, rolling out to his right, great center to quarterback exchange.
Right.
And he rolls out and is able to find his safety valve there, and it will be another money down, 3rd down for the Vikings.
Empty set for MGM, setting up another screen. Jakenyon Allen doesn't have very many blockers, but he escapes and eludes, makes it up to the 15-yard line. Not enough for the 1st down. Decision time for Zach Golson and the crew.
Will Quarles, the 5'10", 200-pound senior defensive end, makes his 6th solo tackle of the season. And you know, if you were able to go it on your own 5, you're going to go for it in red zone territory as well.
Look for Cam Smith to get the handoff. There it is. Up the middle he goes, pushing the Powell, doing his own version of the tush push. And look at the Powell get up to the 6-yard line. That's a 1st down, but a flag on the play.
Well, I will say this. Braden Gartman, Grant Hausnick, Colton Cooey, Eric Griffin, and Braden Patterson. Tremendous job up front. And then you just see the legs steady churning by the big running back. And that's huge when you look at it, Al, keeping those legs churning, and we're at 1st and goal for the Vikings now.
Ball at the 6-yard line. That was just a sideline warning to MGM, so Zach Golson has picked up an unsportsmanlike. MGM has a sideline warning. And Menhennet trying to get him on the board, and that's a touchdown to DJ Broughton Jr. 6-yard pitch and catch. MGM is on the board.
14th reception, 3rd touchdown of the season for our impact player, Menhennet. Great protection by the offensive line. Broughton coming back to the football. And again, the verbal commit to South Florida, picking up that Auburn offer. This 6'5", 225-pound senior shows us how he wants to get into the box, scoring 6.
Jake Gordon on for the PAT. He's 8 of 9 for the season. And it is up. And MGM on top 7-0. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn.
I'm here with the principal for Mary G Montgomery, Mr. Diaz. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm doing better now that we scored. So yeah.
That's right. I know games like this are so exciting for the school and for the community. How are you feeling about this team already being 4-0 and really starting out strong this season?
Well, so I tell you, I walked through the locker room around 4:30 today, and just listening to the conversations that our kids were having. They were talking the game, and no horse playing around, just a very serious mood. So we have a lot of seniors on our staff that's hopefully we're going to have a good year.
And I know academics really do come first here at MGM, so can you share some of the unique academic opportunities and programs that set MGM apart for the students and their families?
So anytime I get a chance to brag on our school, always our academies come to mind. Our signature academy being engineering, then we have biomedical sciences, IT, and hospitality and tourism. Our JROTC. Everybody plays a part here at Mary Montgomery. It's definitely a community school.
It's wonderful that there are so many opportunities. Well, before we let you go, what are you hoping for this school year, just and your expectations?
So we're finally starting to settle in academically. We're focusing on every learning group. Every year we meet our kids where they are, and hopefully we'll take them up a level or two by the end of this school year. Our ACT prep things are going great. Our beginning of the year diagnostics are complete now, so we're settling in, looking at the data, and meeting our kids where they are.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for taking a moment to talk with us. We wish MGM the very best this school year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim. Let's take a look at that scoring drive MGM just put up. What an opportunity as they capitalized on it. Guess we'll get, there it is right there, 6-yard touchdown reception to DJ Barton. But look at the time, 7 minutes and 27 seconds, 90 yards, 14 plays. And they finally punch it in. It was a bunch of flags on that series, though.
Yeah, I mean, there was at least 5 or 6 flags, and there were 15 plays. So I think that you have an opportunity.
5-yard penalty.
6 penalties in that opening drive off of 15 plays.
Wow.
Out. But the result was what was impressive. 6 on the board with the extra point, 7-0 our score.
Speaking of penalties, there's a penalty right there against MGM, a free 5 yards they give to Foley, so the ball's at the 31-yard line by Kai Holmes, leading the offense for Foley. Rolls out to his left. He is left-handed and tosses it out of bounds, so it's going to be 2nd down and 5 coming up here for the Lions.
Offense of Foley led by offensive coordinator Gary Johnston. They average 16 points per game, 2-2 overall record, 1-1 in the region, and this is why it's so critical for Coach Scott and the guys to come away with the win here on the road.
There's a lineup right there for Foley in front of you. Didn't have my paper in front of me. Sorry about that. It's going to be 2nd down and 5 here for the Lions. Man in motion for Foley. Holmes rolling out to his left. High. Intended for Cameron Page, so it's 3rd and 5 here for the Lions.
And when you think about the Foley Lions, of course, you think about the dynamic Julio Jones. You think more recently of Perry Thompson, who's currently playing for the Auburn Tigers. Had a chance to see him have a catch against the Jaguars 1 week ago. But here on 3rd and short, or half, medium, however you want to look at it in your mind, you want to see if they're able to get this running game started up with Dominic Marshall.
Little pop pass right there to get to Page, and boy, MGM is waiting on it, and they eat him up. Tackle for loss right there, so 4th down, nothing comes out of that series for Foley.
Great job and great pursuit, considering it started off with plus yardage situation, and this Viking defense was able to bow up. And this Viking defense is one that I mentioned. Defensive coordinator Alex Page giving up 17.8 points per game, 4-0 overall. We've already seen one special teams trick. I don't think Foley will do it here in their own territory.
And we have flags on the play.
Legal substitution. Offense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Mental mistake right there by the Lions. 12 men on the field, so that'll cost them 5 yards. It'll push back Matt Hudson a bit further before he releases this punt. Now Jakenyon Allen moves up to about his 40. Good shot right there of head coach Derek Scott, former coach at Viger High School for a while. His brother Eric Scott coaches Baker High School. They're playing Daphne tonight, Cora. Allen's just going to stay away from this one. No, you don't want the backspin right there. Hudson, and another flag comes in toward the end of the play. It has been a flag fest out here at Sims tonight.
Yeah, that's something you definitely are not happy with for either one of these coaches.
Going to kick. Blocking the back on the return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
So that's going to cost Zach Golson and the crew a bit more. Take a look at that Foley defense. The Lions play a 3-4, but here's the officials tonight. George Washam, Scott Seeley, Jason Sullivan, Carlos Fortune, Jared Crow, and John Henderson, along with Lee Smith, handling the business tonight. And Corey, they are earning their check. We'll take a look at the Foley defense here. They play a 3-4, but can be multiple at times. Rushing from his defensive end position is leading tackler Maurice Walker, who's tied for sacks on the team with 2 and has 5 tackles for loss. On the other side is defensive end Will Quarles, who has 2 sacks as well. When the Lions go to multiple, look for nickel Craig Miller to drop down on the line. Out in the secondary, cornerback Thalon Hinton leaves the Lions with 2 interceptions, and Foley's defensive line is built for speed, averaging 213 pounds, and right now they can't reel in DJ Broughton. Look at the size of Broughton compared to the other guys trying to tackle him.
Yeah, we talked about that in the pregame. You and I did. The strength and the ability of DJ Broughton at 6'5", 225 pounds. Look at his upper body strength. You're not going to be able to try to tackle him low because he's just going to shed the tackles, get up off of me, and then he just runs through, stiff arms a couple of defenders, and stays upright. And that just goes to show his strength as they do pick up another MGM Viking first down.
Ball at the 39-yard line of Foley. Menhennet back to pass. Has all the time in the world, scrambles out, doesn't step into the pocket. He takes off and steps out of bounds about 2 or 3 yards shy of the first down. Nice little scramble right there by Menhennet.
You look at Menhennet, 8 rushes for 30 yards coming into this game, and he probably had one of his longest runs of the season there on that scramble. But it does bring up an opportunity for MGM to be in 2nd and 1.
Trip receivers to the near side. I'm looking for a run right here. No play action. Menhennet across the middle, up the seam. DJ Broughton with his 2nd touchdown of the night. 35 yards from Menhennet to Broughton Jr.
Broughton Jr. playing big boy football, making it look easy. And we see this young man, I mentioned him being an impact player coming in, and he is verbally committed to South Florida. Again, the interest from Auburn and other Power Fours, but you can see it here. This young man is just a man among boys tonight, right down the seam. Great read by Menhennet, and you can see the strength as he carries the defender into the end zone for 6 more for the Vikings.
Gordon on for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. MGM in control, up by 14 on Foley.
Your experience is valuable, and now it pays. Have you taught at a private school, another district, or even retired from teaching? Mobile County Public Schools is now offering higher pay for your previous experience. That means you can step into the classroom at a higher pay level because your experience matters. Don't let your hard work go unrecognized. Apply today and start earning what you've worked for. Visit mcpss.com/job opportunities for more information.
We welcome you back to ES Grider Stadium. MGM on top. Quick numbers right here on Menhennet. 8 for 8 for 104 yards, 2 touchdowns for the senior quarterback. Zach Golson told us on the phone Sunday, he's kind of putting pressure on the young man. He's trying to put him in positions so he'll know what it feels like when they get later on in the season. There's a scoring drive right there, 3 plays, 55 yards, a minute 2. But he said he's got to get this kid ready because they're going to have a playoff run, Corey.
Got to give a shout out to my guy, Kurt Page, former quarterback guru, having an opportunity here to watch Alex Page as the defensive coordinator, but a quarterback from Vanderbilt who was the last quarterback before last year to beat Alabama.
We don't want to talk about that.
Right,
we don't want to talk about that. It's sensitive.
Hey, he would be very happy with Menhennet's throw right down the seam to DJ Broughton. So Kurt Page, who's listening all the way in another country.
Hungary, isn't he?
Yes. Want to shout out him who's watching us tonight live.
Well, speaking of Hungary, I'm not hungry anymore because not only did I have Jersey Mike's, my man Quentin Woodyard down there with Woodyard Catering set it out for us, Corey.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about what we ate later on. I am not hungry
not
anymore, my brother. 1st and 10 for Foley. Ball's on the 35-yard line. Micah Holmes, empty set for him. They're swinging it out, setting up a screen. Nice pitch and catch right there to Jackson Dixon. He's pretty much the guy they need to get the ball to tonight. He's their explosive player. He's their athlete for Foley.
And you see the chippiness after the play there.
Yeah.
And it's something that you love to see. A defensive back come up and make a play, and that defensive back would be Shundell Harris on the play along with his teammates. But this defense really is loaded to the bear. Caleb Morris, a young man, he's playing the nose guard. He's a Mississippi State verbal to disrupt things in the middle. But then when you add in the backfield, Shondell Harris and TJ Collier, number 6, verbally committed to South Alabama, this defense really is strong.
And brought down. Great defensive stop right there. Sacking Holmes. Wow.
Devin Petway, star linebacker. He has Bama interest. He's a Jackson State verbal commit. Makes his 21st solo tackle of the season.
And flags come out. 3rd and 2.
Encroachment. Defense. 5-yard penalty.
Oh,
first down.
That is going to burn Zach Golson up. They just gave him a first down.
And if you're Coach Scott, you'll take it any way you can get it, and it opens up the playbook for offensive coordinator Gary Johnston. Again, averaging 16 points per game. As we're getting closer to the conclusion here of the first quarter, MGM with those long drive that took almost 8 minutes off the clock and then a quick scoring drive.
Second drive only used 62 seconds. Trip receivers to the near side. Another flag. Corey, I'm going to have to check my calendar. Is this week 4 or 5, or is this week 0 or week 1? Because the flags are unbelievable.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You get the first down, and then you give the 5 yards back. Look at Derek Scott on the other side just pleading like, I can't believe this.
Yeah, he's definitely irate at that.
Wow.
And the quarter will come to an end here as the clock continues to run with MGM leading 14-0.
And the clocks are at 0. And there's the stoppage right there from George Washam. So that'll wrap it up at the end of the first quarter. MGM in control, up 14 points. Second quarter headed your way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayla, hi. Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you? Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
At Genuine Bling, discover stunning fashion jewelry that turns heads for just $5. That's right, $5. From bold statement pieces to everyday sparkle, we've got the bling. So why wait? Treat yourself, your friends, or your entire wardrobe. Fashion fun for just $5. And don't miss the Bling Live. Join Charmaine Watson on Facebook, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. for exclusive pieces, styles tips, and surprise deals. Genuine Bling, where fashion only costs $5.
Get ready to mark your calendar. Very important. Monday, September 22nd. September 22nd, that's a distance learning day coming up this Monday. Distance learning day. So parents, get ready. The kids will be having distance learning this Monday. Long weekend for the kids. First and 15 coming up here for Foley after that delay of game as we start the second quarter. Ball's on their own 44-yard line.
Rolling to the left is where the quarterback is comfortable. A little pop pass.
A pop pass right there. Helmet comes off of Jackson Dixon as the Vikings eat him up behind the line of scrimmage.
And another great job of this Vikings defense. Dylan Lucas, the Jack linebacker, he makes his second tackle of the season. 6'1", 230-pound sophomore with a big stop there. And when you look at bring it up down and distance-wise, second and close to over 20. It's tough against this stingy MGM defense, especially the Lions on the road.
Pushes them back. Handoff to the back, up the middle. Just eating up Dominique Marshall. He can't go anywhere. He takes a 1-yard loss, pushes them back to the 39-yard line.
I mentioned a man among boys, Caleb Morris, number 9, 6'4", 255-pound senior, verbally committed to Mississippi State, disrupting that offensive line, getting after the running back.
3rd and about 20 coming up here for Foley, looking to the sideline to get the play call. Play clock approaching 10 seconds. Holmes going to swing it out to Marshall, incomplete, led him a bit too much, threw it inside. So that takes Foley to 4th down. They can't get the offense in gear tonight against MGM.
And once again, the pressure being applied up front by Caleb Morris, disrupting that timing and that throw by Mekhi Holmes, not able to really step into it. And it will present a 4th down punting situation. And Jakenyon Allen, he can flat out fly if he catches it, along with Shondell Harris. I would kick this one angrily out of bounds.
2nd punt tonight for Matt Hudson. Allen setting up at about his 33, 34-yard line. Nice punt by Hudson right there. And pins it near the 26, 27-yard line, angled it away from Allen. So nice punt right there by Hudson. MGM coming on for their 3rd series of the first half tonight. Keep in mind, no heat timeouts in this ball game, so we're pretty much moving by pretty swiftly.
Yeah, swiftly is exactly the pace that you're talking about, and it's important to see that type of pace because for the MGM Vikings with a 14-0 lead, that last drive only lasted 1 minute.
Yeah, it was 62 seconds.
And this Foley defense has to find a way to come away with a stop here. And you look at the playmakers, whether it's Jakenyon Allen, DJ Broughton, you can also bring Cam Smith into it. We'll see what they decide to do offensively here on this drive.
1st and 10 at the 27. Whistles from the official.
Illegal substitution.
As George Washam said, illegal substitution. First and 10 here for MGM. Play action. Men hit it with time. They flush him to the left. He's just going to throw that one away. Had a receiver near, but just throws it out of bounds. That was the wise choice. So 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Vikings. Last year, this ball game, MGM beat Foley 35-14, but Foley leads the overall series 24-8 over MGM. But we know in the past couple of years, it has been a vast turnaround here since Zach Golson has arrived for the Vikings program.
Yeah, that's something that you definitely want to see from this Sims community, is the support of Coach Zach Golson and how he's been able to transform this football program from winless to winning the region here in 3 years straight. They've had a winning record and quickly trying to become one of the winningest coaches of all time here for the MGM Vikings.
Smith with the carry, picks up about 1 or 2. Pretty much ran right into the line, so it's going to be 3rd and long here for the Vikings. Looking to the sideline to get the call from offensive coordinator Andrew Reeves, along with Zach Golson doing some play calling as well. Cam Smith leaks out of the backfield. Fumble snap right there by Menhennet, and he goes down. Time the knee hits the ground. That's where he's going to be marked at. And he took a shot, too.
Yeah, after the fact. But Al, you've seen the quarterback center exchange really be an issue for the Vikings here in the first half, because to my knowledge, that's
the
maybe
third
the
time.
third time.
It's third time.
And that's something that I know that they're going to have to clean up here as the game progresses. Now, we did see them deep in their own territory earlier go for a fake, because I told you, Shondell Harris being that athlete, averaging 41.8 yards per punt. We'll see what kind of leg he's able to put into this one if he really does punt it this time.
Jackson Dixon standing on his 44-yard line. Nice punt right there by Harrison. Fumbled by Dixon. And fumbled. That ball is still alive. Dixon picks it back up. Oh, that's going to be a blindside block right there. We can see that from the press box. Nice run by Dixon. Another flag comes in. 2 more flags. And we have an injured player down on the field for MGM.
He's
and
not moving
that's
on
out of that.
back.
That's from that first blindside block that was thrown by Foley.
And that's, you love to see football. It is a contact sport. But when you're not expecting a hit in that situation, you love to see the young man pop back up and show the toughness and the
Blaze
grit
McNair
in
popped
that
back
situation.
up.
But
he had his bell rung.
Oh,
Corey.
my goodness.
He was
he
down.
Took one, and,
wow.
anytime you see the officials, Mr. Smith lose his cap, that means that there's another flag that had to be thrown. So we had the crackback block, and we also had a tackle by Foley on special teams. So it's going to come back from where the original crackback block. Let's try to see that crackback block again there, and
They're
you'll
going
be
to have
able
some.
to see
They'll have some sorting out to do on this one. There are literally flags back where the ball was caught, and there are flags near where Dixon was trying to get into the end zone. So on both ends of the play, we have flags. The field is literally littered in yellow right now.
But what toughness by Blaze McNair, being able to pop back, because he wasn't moving momentarily. I mean, just literally had his bell rung and stung him, and then all of a sudden he popped back up.
Here's the call from George Washam and the crew as they sort this out.
Two fouls on the play, both by the return team. Blindside block on the return team. Blindside block on the return team. 15 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
And they're probably going to take that first one. Here's the return.
And it was 17 folks that really got his bell rung. And the fumble, amazing, it stayed in bounds, or the ball stayed in the flight of play. And there's that block right there as we switch camera angles, and you'll see the second one coming up at the end of the run.
I will say this, Corey,
as well.
If we're going to get technical about it, Dixon lost the ball, stepped out of bounds. He was the first person to touch the ball again and came back inbound.
It's a live ball.
But he was the first offensive person at that point to step to get the ball back.
It's a live ball. Anybody's game.
I didn't know if he was actually allowed to do that as an offensive player.
Absolutely. When it's a live
as
ball,
he stepped out of bounds and then came back inbounds, that's my question.
No, it's a fumble. It's anybody's ball in that situation because it's a fumble.
Interesting. That is quite interesting.
Because we have to look
and speaking of fumbles, Corey, you called it. Fumble on the ground. The MGM picks it up. It's first and 10 at the 25, and I think this is going to be Vikings football. As Devin Petway has the pigskin, and we're waiting on the call from George Washam. It is MGM's ball. That's our first turnover of the night. A fumble committed on the first play by Foley right there.
And you just credit the weight room with that takeaway right there. That was strictly weight room strength, ripping that football away. As you take a look at the nose, just squaring him up.
Oh, that's a live ball.
Being hit squarely in the chest, in the numbers. That's a textbook tackle on Dominic Marshall. And after this play, if we're able to rack that one more time so we can see that replay, Dominic Marshall, the headgear landed right in between the numbers. It's a textbook tackle, a textbook turnover takeaway for the Vikings, and it puts them back in scoring business once again.
So it was first and 10 at the 25 for Foley, and right there at the 25, MGM takes over after our first turnover tonight. Here's the replay. Oh, hit him right in the gut, popped it out. And Devin Petway, Johnny on the spot.
Shondell Harris calls the fumble. He came up and he absolutely laid the lumber. So another impact player making another huge impact play for the Vikings.
First and 10 here for MGM. Man-handed toss it. Look out for the end around. JaKenyon Allen comes around the end, outside the hash, outside the numbers. Puts it in reverse, but we have a flag on the play. Possibly a hold against MGM as they sort this out. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She has an injury update for us. What's up, Kim?
I was able to check on number 17 for MGM. He said that he is feeling great. He said for a moment there he kind of felt like his arms went a little bit numb, but he's doing awesome. They checked him out. He's good to go, and he will be joining us for the remainder of the football game.
That's good to know.
Thank you,
really
Kim.
good.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Glad to hear that. Unfortunately, 10-yard penalty holding against MGM. That's going to push it back.
Houseneck, 69 left guard, out there in space with number 2, Jakenyon Allen. And that's an easy call for the Stripes to make. And it will bring up a first and right around 14 yards to go for a Viking first down.
Cam Smith with the carry. North and south, right up the middle, just taking the pile with him as he gets to the 20-yard line.
You can see Eric Griffin, 5'10", 340-pound senior, 8 pancakes on the season, tried to make that number 9. Him and Grant Houseneck making up for that last penalty that was called against him, but the big O-line of MGM really trying to dominate up front. We call them the Big Uglies, 69 and 77, putting in work up front.
They averaged 294 pounds across the front. Got a shout out to my buddy Derek Patterson up in Snellville, Georgia, watching his nephew, right tackle Braden Patterson, play for MGM tonight on that big offensive line. And George Washam goes to Derek Scott to talk to him with the flag on the field there. Shot of Washam and Carlos Fortune and Derek Scott. Don't forget, coming up, we'll have the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Kimberly Dunn's going to try to get a winner tonight, and we'll hear the cow go moo. There it is with the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. She always does well at MGM because this is her high school she graduated from. We can't get her to do the fire thing because the field can't handle fire.
On the defense. Add the distance to the goal. First down.
First down, Mary Montgomery, Skull Vikings.
So unsportsmanlike against Foley. And that's going to push MGM into the red zone. It'll be first and goal from the 10-yard line.
Well, we've seen an unsportsmanlike called against MGM. Now we see one against the Foley Lions. And brings you right in to it. And that was an ejection against Foley's number 30. It looks like Maurice Walker has been ejected from this contest.
So Walker thrown out. Menhinnet escapes the pressure. I thought he was going to run it in the end zone. He had a wide open lane. He threw it to Allen, and Allen drops it. Wow.
Yeah, that's a situation to where if you're an Alabama Crimson Tide fan in week 1 against the Florida State Seminoles, Alabama saw Ty Simpson do the same thing, and sometimes it's better to just go ahead and trust your wheels because you're going to have positive yardage in that situation.
Well, Corey, I can see a flag football coach for Scarborough over here, our statistician China Powell, saying, run the ball, run the ball. You got a lane, run the ball, son. Second and goal here for the Vikings. Up the middle goes Cam Smith, and with that ejection of Walker, Corey, that is Foley's leading tackler for the Lions.
And there's another one.
And more flags on the field. That's Braden Patterson right there laying down. Just talked about him. Lost his lid. He's going to have to come out for a play.
6'1", 285, and I guarantee he didn't take his own helmet off, Al.
Right. Yeah, if it was taken off by the defender, he can remain. As George Weisham and the crew are sorting this out. Foley comes in tonight, dressing out about 55 players. They have 18 seniors. They return 3 on offense and 5 on defense for Coach Derek Scott in his 6th year at Foley. So here's the call from George Washington.
After the play, we have a double foul. Personal foul, offense. Personal foul, defense. Penalty was offset.
Well, we'll get a do-over. It'll be second and goal for MGM. Ball's at the 7-yard line. Handoff to Elijah James. And he pretty much just runs into the line. Corey and Foley kind of stands their ground. It's going to be third down here for MGM.
And we asked for 2D rosters for a reason. And as I'm looking down on the field, for the MGM Vikings. On that play, Ryan Holmes, the 6', 300-pound senior center, he is now coming out of the game, with Colton Cooey coming back into the contest for the Vikings.
They were trying to get that push up the middle behind Holmes. He's a big fella. Cam Smith just to the right of Menhennet. Menhennet going left. Third touchdown tonight to DJ Broughton. Another 7-yard score for MGM. Broughton's first touchdown was 7 yards tonight.
Pitch and catch.
No,
7-on-7
Yep.
drill to perfection. Back shoulder throw. Thalen Hinton, the 6'2", 185-pound senior cornerback, on an island with the 6'5" wide receiver. Didn't stand a chance. And Broughton back in the box for the MGM Vikings, scoring 6 more.
Jake Gordon on for the extra point. And he puts it through the north end zone. MGM scores again. It took that drive something to get together, but it is points off turnovers, up 21.
So I wasn't ready for my math test. Didn't know that it was going to come to this. I mean, it was just a phone call so I could get out of testing.
Threatening harm to a school, even as a prank, is a crime. Mobile County law enforcement treats school threats seriously, leading to investigations, arrests, and legal consequences. Think before you act. One moment of bad judgment can have lasting consequences. If you see something, say something. Speak up.
Got to thank our folks over there at Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's is hiring. Work with one of the best companies in the country. Great pay and benefits. Stop by the Dolphin Street or Airport Boulevard location to apply. Tell them Al and Corey sent you. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Also, we want to thank BSN Sports with team apparel and equipment from baseball to basketball and all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com. MGM with the kickoff. This one's going to sail out of bounds. So Foley will get some decent field position here. But can they get the offense together? Points off turnovers for MGM leads to their third touchdown of the night, and Broughton's third touchdown, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, 21-0, our score at this point in time. We've had some sustained long drives, but we've also had a lot of laundry tonight on the field. A lot of yellow flags have been thrown against each one of these squads, but as it's 1st and 10 for the Foley Lions, it's imperative that they do not go 3 and out here on this drive. They have to find a way to get Dominic Marshall involved or Mekhi Holmes. We've seen him had success rolling the pocket. He's a left-handed quarterback, left-handed thrower. So we'll see here if he's able to go ahead and continue to roll to his left and maybe tuck it and run it for something.
Legal formation on the kickoff. Ball to be placed at the 35.
So Foley gets the ball at the 35-yard line after the kick out of bounds from Gordon. Mekhi Holmes has 1 touchdown pass on the season, 4 interceptions, but he has 3 rushing scores for Foley. No play action here. Almost into the hands of Jackson Dixon, but almost into the hands of the defender for MGM. Way to contest that pass.
It would have been almost a dun-dun-dun moment there as TJ Collier, the 6'2", 175-pound senior, verbally committed to South Alabama, unable to knock that football away or to come up with the interception, but it is an incomplete pass. And I like the fact that Holmes took his shot.
Yeah.
Offensive coordinator Gary Johnston opened it up there on 1st and 10. Great play call, just weren't able to come away with the catch.
Empty set coming up here for the Lions. Derek Scott knows that they need to get points and they need to get them quickly. No heat timeouts being observed. Trying to catch Cameron Page on the slant, and he drops the pigskin. 3rd and 10 here for Foley.
Page, the 6'2", 175-pound junior, has 5 receptions for 35 yards on the season, but not able to come away with a vital catch right there. And it's another huge third down opportunity. Money down here is what we call it. MGM's opening up the playbook here defensively.
Vikings fans getting rowdy on third down. Going back to Page.
Hook and ladder.
Oh, hook and lateral. On the move for Foley. The hook and lateral from Cameron Page.
That's a great job. Great
to
job.
Bryson Garcia. Smart call right there. Caught everyone looking the other way. And that's a huge gain for Foley. Here it is.
Look at the coordination, though, of this play. It's a pitch and catch. It's something you see in the schoolyard.
Executed perfectly.
And it's an opportunity off to the races. A touchdown saving tackle is made by the Vikings. And that's going to be Carson Hedrick on that stop for MGM. First time Foley's in the red zone area. Need to cash in.
Ball at the 13-yard line.
It's a block
Jackson
in the back.
Dixon with the carry, but we have flags on the play. I think it is a block in the backcourt.
Easy right there in front of us to see. You wanted Dixon to be able to cut against the grain and the turf and turn it up, but you have to go ahead. If you don't see the numbers, the rule is in football when you're teaching your fundamentals, if you can't see the front of the chest or the numbers there, it's going to be an easy block in the back call, and that's going to come back.
So Foley shoots themselves in the foot right there as they march this one back to the 28-yard line. First and 25 for the Lions.
And think about the explosive plays. We saw the explosive play on the fake punt, and now we've seen a hook and ladder there being run as well.
Pistol formation. Pressure on Holmes. He steps up into the pocket, and that's an interception. Picked off by MGM. Interception. Skylar Bush picks off Makai Holmes. That's our second turnover of the night.
Skylar Bush, the 6-foot, 165-pound senior, comes away with his first INT of the season. Great job by Bush, making sure that he squeezed the pigskin, and it goes ahead and kills a great Foley Lion drive, all for naught after getting in the red zone area. 4:55 remaining here, and MGM back on the attack, but again, a great drive you hate to see negated due to a turnover.
And we were just talking about Foley needed to do something, needed to get the momentum. They needed to get something going on. They throw the hook and lateral, and bam, right there, unfortunately, Holmes throws the interception. He was going for the shot, the kill shot there to get the touchdown, but Vikings ball, 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line up the middle with the carry. Cam Smith continues to carry the pile. I think he's going to have enough for the first as he gets up to the 21-yard line, and the chains are going to move.
It's something, a hook and ladder that
Correction, Thomas White with the carry. Go ahead, Corey.
You normally don't see a hook and ladder run except on last plays of the game.
Right.
That was a perfectly called play that really flipped the field for Foley, and now MGM trying to take all the momentum back. You hear the cowbells ringing. They're trying to keep it going before the half.
Another big run right there by Thomas White as he gets it out to the 42-yard line, maybe the 43. Big run from White. Back-to-back runs right there for the Vikings.
Well, you have Smith, who had an 83-yarder called back, but this one's all Thomas White, the 6-foot, 215-pound senior with this 36 rush on the season, gets a MGM first down.
Ball's at the 43. They go back to White again. Just wearing down this Foley defense. Continuing to run the ball behind this 294-pound offensive line that averages. It's some big meat out there, Corey.
Craig Miller, the senior defensive back, comes up and makes the stop for the Foley Lions, and it's going to be 2nd and 6 yards to go, approaching midfield with 4 minutes remaining here before we reach halftime.
Ball at the 47-yard line of MGM. Now they bring Cam Smith back into the ball game. He gets it into Foley territory up to the 44-yard line, plus territory for the Vikings once again.
Well, you talked about the meat that's on the field. How about fresh meat coming into the game?
Correct.
And you can eat fresh with a nice running back there. In that situation, the line of scrimmage and the battle in the trenches being won by the Vikings at this point in time.
Play action, overthrows Broughton. So to take MGM to 2nd down. They're pretty much doing a run, and then we're going to hit you with the pass. All 3 scores tonight have been through the air.
And that's one of the first or second incompletions for Menhennet on the night. And it's hard to overthrow DJ Broughton in that situation at 6'5".
I agree with you on that one.
A little bit too juiced on that throw. He'll settle back in. We've seen him hit him in the seam. Playbook wide open for Reeves and head coach Zach Golson.
They handed off to Cam Smith. Oh, he's up the middle. One got it. Oh, and the turf monster gets him. I don't know if that was Jakenyon Allen that got him, but I think the turf monster may have caught him, Corey. Let's take a look at the replay here.
Great job. He goes untouched. Great job by the offensive line, and catches it in the secondary, cuts back, and it is the yard line that trips him up and makes that tackle. Another first down for the Vikings.
Right at the 30-yard line, this Vikings offense moving. Goes through the B gap on the left side. Smith takes it up close to the 25-yard line, so we'll credit him with 5-yard carry right there.
And what you can start to see here is an opportunity for these holes to start opening up more massively in the trenches for the MGM Vikings, and the hands on the hips of the defensive linemen for the Foley Lions. And we know how fresh the Vikings are as they're approaching 2:40 remaining here in the second quarter on a nice drive.
Double stack receivers to the top. Elijah James, now he comes into motion, and they give him the jet sweep. He picks up a couple, maybe 2.
Elijah James
should bring up about 3rd and about 4 here for MGM.
A little frustrated that the turf monster kind of tripped him up, as well as he saw pay dirt in that situation and wasn't able to score, but it does bring up 3rd down and a long 4 yards to go.
The line to gain is the 19.
We'll see if they continue to dial up the successful running game that they've shown all season long.
Look at Cam Smith just bruising up the middle, north and south for the Vikings. That's a first down, and MGM is inside the red zone once again, looking to get one last score before halftime. Here's the replay.
And Curtis Sanders on the delivering end of that finishing run. 6'2", 175-pound senior, 12 rushes, 80 yards so far. And if it's not broke, Al, there's no reason to try to fix it. Go right back down to that run game. Let the O-line punish in the trenches.
Timeout, I believe, called by Derek Scott, and Foley needs to give his guys a breather as we have 91 seconds remaining in the first half. Foley will receive the second half kickoff. Don't forget, coming up soon, just around the corner, Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Kimberly Dunn will be looking to get a winner. She'll select a spectator out of the stands and bring her down and ask them a question, give them a multiple choice answer, and if they are correct, they'll win a Chick-fil-A prize pack. So that'll be coming up at halftime. Plus, Foley brought their band, so we'll see Foley's band and also MGM's band at halftime as well. And take a look at first half stats. Take a peek at the Alabama Sports Writers Association state polls as well. And just have a sit back for a nice little halftime, Corey. I will say the humidity, to me, feels as if it's gone. We have a wind, a little breeze. I don't need my towels working. I don't see the sweat accumulating on your head there, young man. So we're feeling pretty good. So thank you, Kimberly.
Better.
Thank you, Kimberly Dunn.
Absolutely. Dropped down to 80 degrees. As soon as that sun went down, we do feel the breeze, the light breeze on the press box at this time. But in the red zone area, MGM trying to finish up with viciousness in the trenches here on this drive.
Ball at the 13-yard line. They can pick up a first down without scoring. Need to get to the 3 to get the first down. That pass incomplete, intended for Breeze Brown. It went up high there. No flags. So 2nd and 10 coming up for the Vikings.
And it does stop the clock with 1:23 remaining here in the second quarter. MGM leading 21-0. One long drive in the first quarter, one short drive in the first quarter, and a touchdown here early in the second leads to that 21-0 score.
Manhattan bobbles the snap, pitches it to Jakenyon Allen, and he's just eating up.
He's lucky.
I thought he was going to try to bail out of that play.
He's lucky that was not a fumble because that was a toss sweep in that situation, and it was pitched underhanded. And I know that Allen, if he catches that and turns the end, he's going to have 6. But you just have to be very careful on those type of trick plays. Less than a minute remaining here in the second quarter.
Ball on the 17-yard line, so first and 3rd and 17. Manhattan with all the time in the world. Foley jumps the route as that pass was intended for KJ Johnson. Incomplete, so I think we may have a field goal attempt here from Jake Gordon as the special teams unit comes out onto the field.
He's 1 of 1 on the season, long of 40, and he goes through all his reads, Manhattan, and just not able, as it's a great job of undercutting the football there by Jatavius Jacobs, 5'9", 175-pound junior.
Gordon setting up for a 34-yard field goal attempt. The kick is blocked by Foley, picked up by Foley. And Foley trying to gain some momentum, but we have a flag on the play.
Horse collar tackle there at the end. And that will be a touchdown saving horse collar tackle right there. Great job by special teams for Foley in that situation.
Horse collar, only kicking team.
15 yards, first down.
So Foley is back in business. Take a look at the replay as that line breaks through.
Good snap, good hold. Just did not hold the line of scrimmage in that situation. And
Gordon said, "You ain't scoring on me tonight, bro."
I like Jake Gordon's aggressiveness there. Again, that could have been lethal if you're the Lions as far as injecting energy before the half. But here it is now. Time on the clock, 29 seconds. Let's see if they're able to take it into the half with a couple of more explosive plays by quarterback Mekhi Holmes.
MGM not able to take advantage of that turnover to get points, as that drive was pretty much stopped right there at the 17-yard line, and we're under 30 seconds here remaining in the first half. Foley trying to do something to get some points on the board. If they can get the 2-for-1, however they can get it, Corey, because they will receive the second half kickoff.
Well, it's just important to get that donut off of the board here. You don't want to have a turnover here to force a throw, because the secondary and the defensive linemen can swipe at the football. We've already seen one fumble and one interception, and you don't want to see that here. There's going to be another penalty flag here, probably either encroachment or against the defense.
Another free 5 for Foley that MGM gives up. Gets them closer. 22 seconds remain on the clock. So now they're in MGM territory. The ball at the 47-yard line of MGM.
And we'll see if they do get in comfortable territory. Alberto Vargas or Matt Hudson attempt a very long one, but again, don't turn the football over here if you're the Foley Lions. Avoid that turnover before the half.
Holmes steps up, and he is sacked and brought down, and the clock continues to run.
Gain of about 1. 3rd down.
And let's see if Derek Scott calls the timeout, and there it is. He uses his last one. with 12 seconds remaining on the clock.
You normally call that timeout to set up some type of Hail Mary type of play. We've already seen the hook and ladder that you would run in that situation, but you save that play for normally last plays of the half, but they weren't able to get it in for a touchdown, so it's definitely going to make the MGM defense and defensive coordinator Alex Page be very aware of any type of trickeration that can be had by the offense in this situation. And 12 seconds remaining, the ball on the 46-yard line of MGM. And know that Mekhi Holmes can throw the football.
We've seen his arm. We've seen his arm.
But we'll see if he has the pocket protection in order to do so, because when you have people like Caleb Morris, San Juan Trixie, Kimon Vale, and then you bring up Devin Petway from the linebacker position, they can easily create turnovers.
So technically it is 3rd and 4, but we know it's 12 seconds remaining. If Foley can pick up the first down, it'll stop the clock momentarily to move the sticks. But Foley right now out of timeouts. Dominic Marshall to the left of Holmes. 3 receivers here to the near side. He's rolling to the left. Cameron Page catches it. Clock is still running. It's enough for the first down, but it won't be enough to stop the clock and move the chains. And we have hit halftime on a very interesting first half. 2 turnovers. MGM was able to get points off one of those turnovers and just had a blocked field goal, Corey.
Yeah, that's what you call huge in that situation for the Foley Lions, being able to stop that scoring opportunity for MGM in the red zone. And if you're the Vikings, what you want to clean up at halftime definitely are the penalties. And if you're the Lions, you just want to take one possession at a time to try to get back in this game here in the second half.
You want to get some momentum. As we like to say, you want to get some first downs. You want to move the sticks. You want to get things going so you can get into a good rhythm, because it seems as if Foley can't find their rhythm tonight.
Yeah, it's tough. Only 2 first downs in the first half. MGM had 12. So when you start looking at those numbers, it definitely becomes time of possession, all in the favor of MGM. Luckily for Foley, they're able to go to halftime, get 20 minutes of fresh breath in their air, Gatorade, and go to work.
All right, let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She has the coach on the sidelines with her.
Coach Golson, before the game we talked about how we needed to kind of limit the penalties, and so far tonight we have had several. So what are we going to be talking to our team about during this halftime?
Just controlling our emotions, number one. Just doing the little things to not get those penalties. A couple of mistakes on our part in the first half. Some stuff we got to get cleaned up. They know better, but they're kids, so we're going to keep coaching them.
Also, before the game, you talked a little bit about the pillars that you teach to these guys throughout the season. Could you talk about what those are and maybe the message you're going to give to them in the locker room?
Yeah, toughness, discipline, commitment, love, family, ministry. Those are the things that we want to be about every day. The way we play the game, the way that we are in our hallways, the way we are in our community. And I think our guys do a really good job of representing that. And, it's a day-by-day process. Those are things that, everybody's trying to be better at every day. And I love our group, and I think that they're about the right type of things.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. I'll let you get with your team. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. It is now halftime. MGM on top 21-0. We'll take a break and come back and bring you the Foley High School Marching Band. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Looking for unforgettable food and flawless service for your next event? Woodyard Catering is Mobile's top choice for personal chefs and customized catering. From weddings and baby showers to funerals and private dinners, we bring delicious, handcrafted dishes made with the freshest ingredients, reliable, friendly, full of flavor. Whatever the occasion, we serve it with care. Call Woodyard Catering today, because every event deserves a taste of excellence.
All right, let's take it down to the field and listen to the Foley High School Marching Band under the direction of David Samuel.
Huge impact.
Maybe not quite that much. How about something more modern? Perhaps with a pop, hip-hop flair? Maybe something no one's ever done before. Yeah, that looks stellar.
These shoes that Alice have will blow your mind. Think of her, steady words will hypnotize you every line. I need a volunteer. How about you? With the eyes, so come on out to the front. Stand right here and don't be shy. Now come on, come see the show tonight. Prepare to be outstanding. Now let's the poltergeist. You know I'm no Pinocchio. I never told a lie. So call me Miss Magic. Yeah, I go on fire.
Yeah, that's awesome. There could be a solo baritone moment here. Yes. What would harmony sound like? Wow, that's nice. I think it needs vibrant color. Huge motions by the guard. Now I know what we need. A big climatic moment. Wow, just wow. All right, let's bring in more upbeat pop. Let's pull out all the stops.
Evel Knievel, it's a spectacular show, cause my heart pumps diesel. So whatever you're saying, it don't entertain my ego. I do this every day, hocus pocus is my stilo.
Foley Band is under the direction of Director of Bands David Samuel. Associate Directors are Jimmy O'Kane, Michael Roy, Ben Brunson.
Great job out at Foley High School Marching Band. We're going to take a break and come back and bring you MGM's band plus the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Don't move.
Your experience is valuable, and now it pays. Have you taught at a private school, another district, or even retired from teaching? Mobile County Public Schools is now offering higher pay for your previous experience. That means you can step into the classroom at a higher pay level because your experience matters. Don't let your hard work go unrecognized. Apply today and start earning what you've worked for. Visit MCPSS.com/job opportunities for more information.
Looking for unforgettable food and flawless service for your next event? Woodyard Catering is Mobile's top choice for personal chefs and customized catering. From weddings and baby showers to funerals and private dinners, we bring delicious, handcrafted dishes made with the freshest ingredients. Reliable, friendly, full of flavor. Whatever the occasion, we serve it with care. Call Woodyard Catering today, because every event deserves a taste of excellence.
It is now time for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn.
All right, I have some very special guests with me this week for our Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. They are going to get the opportunity to answer a question and win this goodie bag. We've got some awesome Chick-fil-A gift cards as well as some other goodies. You want to show off some of the things that are in there? We've got a Chick-fil-A cup. Everybody needs one of these. It's always hot here. What else? What's in there? Oh, a cozy. Yeah, a stuffed animal from Chick-fil-A, some sunglasses, as well as some Mobile County Public Schools merchandise. All right, let's get all this in here. Are you ready for your question tonight? You ready? All right, so first we need you to tell us your name and what school you go to.
Aubrey Collier.
You go to Collier? All right.
Austin Lacoste. I go to Wilmer Elementary.
Wilmer Elementary. Okay.
And Sims Middle.
Sims Middle. So Wilmer Elementary and Sims Middle, and I'm going to assume you're cheering for MGM tonight. Yep. All right, here's our question. There are 8 planets in our solar system. This planet is the smallest, only slightly larger than the Earth's moon. It also has the shortest year, taking just 88 Earth days to orbit the sun. So is it Venus, Mercury, Mars, or Jupiter? All right, let's take a guess. Y'all work together. What do you think is our answer here? So think about which of these planets are typically pretty big. It said this one is the smallest. So what? The one that's the smallest. So what do you think? All right, let's give it a guess. You ready? All right, what do you think?
Jupiter?
Jupiter? No, I think Jupiter is our largest planet. We want the smallest, so let's look again. Venus, Mercury, or Mars? That's what we've got it as now. What do you think it is?
Venus?
Not Venus. Mercury. There we go. All right, our girls are the winners of our Chick-fil-A prize pack. Let me give you these Chick-fil-A gift cards. You get one extra, so maybe you can share it with somebody too. Thank y'all for taking time to speak with us. Y'all look at the camera and say, "Go Vikings!"
Go Vikings.
Great job. Let's take it down to the MGM Marching Viking Band under the direction of Graham Bennett. Sounds of the MGM marching Viking band. We'll take a break and come back and bring you state polls. We'll look at the standings. Also, we'll revisit Corey's checklist and give you first half stats. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement, and that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting 1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
It is halftime here at ES Grider Stadium. MGM on top 21-0. Let's take a look at the Alabama Sports Writers Association top 10 polls. Corey, we're going to start in 7A. The top 6 teams here are exactly the same from last week. MGM ranked number 4 again, and they climbed 2 spots up to 4, as a matter of fact, from 6. Opelika climbs 3 spots to 7 as Dothan, Hillcrest, Evergreen, and Hoover all lost last week. Outside the top 10, Daphne picks up 6 votes, and Baker nabs 4 votes. I was just told Baker's on top of Daphne 7-0 at the half.
Yeah, again, big boy football, 7A football, and Mary G Montgomery continues to be the crown jewel of 7A Region 1. And tonight, they continue to go ahead and show why they wanted to go ahead and defend their 7A Region 1 title.
Let's take it down to 6A. The top 8 teams here are exactly the same from last week. Saraland still perched at a solid number 3 for another week. Outside the top 10, St. Paul's picks up 6 votes, and Theodore picks up 2 votes. They're playing each other right now. Last score I saw was, 21-14. Theodore was on top, I believe.
Yeah, and it's a situation to where Saraland has continued for the last decade. We know what Jeff Kelly has been able to produce. But you look in 6A with Theodore and Steve Mask in his second year playing a very critical region game tonight that you just mentioned against St. Paul's. Steve Mask has the Bobcats on the right path, and C.J. Mosley getting his jersey retired tonight at Theodore, former Alabama great, Theodore great, Baltimore Ravens and Jets great as well.
Let's take it down to 5A. Not many changes in the 5A poll. Viger still number 1, Williamson still number 3. And the top 7 are exactly the same from last week. Andalusia sneaks into the top 10 with 16 votes, and UMS Wright still on the outside looking in. They lost last week to Viger, I believe.
Yeah, if you ask me, the 1-2 matchup is Viger-Williamson in 5A Region 1 because they are the best 2 teams right now in the entire state of Alabama. We've talked about the greatness of the Williamson Lions defense, and so far tonight they have been pitching a shutout against BC Rain at Ladd Peoples Stadium. But Viger, they have that bullseye on their back. They're embracing it. So we'll see how that matchup goes ahead and sees itself here in a couple of weeks.
So let's take a look at some region standings right now. So we're going to put those up for you in 7A. As you can see, MGM on top, 2-0 in the region. Baker playing Daphne tonight. MGM playing Foley. We told you Foley 1-1. Robertsdale, Bryan, and Davidson, they're still looking to pick up their first region win. Maybe that will be happening soon. Take it down to 6A Region 1 standings, and we know who's on top right there. Saraland and Theodore tied. That's why that ball game is so huge tonight. We were just talking about with St. Paul's. St. Paul's can win. They'll be 3-0, and Theodore would be 3-1, and Saraland tonight as well. 3-0 for the Spartans, pretty much running 6A Region 1 down here.
Yeah, no question about it. And again, 6A Region 1, we've seen the Spartans dominate for the longest. And it'll be interesting to see here coming off of a bye week how Blunt responds. Spanish Fork coming away with the win. St. Paul's and Theodore at 2-3 battling one another now.
Blunt and Gulf Shores playing each other tonight. Take it down to 5A right quick before we get to your checklist, Corey. Williamson Viger, as we just talked about, on a collision course, I believe October 17th. when they're scheduled to meet, but they still have some games in between. But for now, they're pretty much undefeated in 5A Region 1. Williamson on top of Rain right now, we were told, at the half. So that's a big ball game taking place down at Last Stadium. Let's take a look at your checklist, Corey. Revisit it right quick before we get the stats up. Talk about what these teams needed to do and what have you seen so far?
For the Foley Lions, they needed to roar to the run. Well, we saw an 83-yard touchdown reversed by Cam Smith at the beginning of the game, but we know that the Vikings have rushed for well over 125 yards here in the first half. So Foley has to do a better job of wrapping up and dominating the line of scrimmage. Feast or famine Foley, we have seen that as well. Because again, they held MGM on their first drive, and then all of a sudden the special play, the fake punt by Shundell Harris led to a first down, and then they drive the ball down the length of the field and score. And then on the hook and ladder on that play also, feast or famine Foley, they get into the red zone area and turn the ball over. They can't help but being young and restless, but what they can try to do is stay away from those penalties. MGM, on the other hand, the Viking viciousness. We've seen some lumber laid by the defensive line of MGM. Caleb Morris along with Shundell Harris. Also limiting the penalties. Coach Golson talked about that with Kimberly going into the half, how he was displeased with it, and be trouble in the trenches, dominating the line of scrimmage. In the second quarter, we saw those lanes and line of scrimmage start to open up. We'll see if the rest at halftime was able to help the Foley Lions.
Let's check it down and check in with Kimberly Dunn.
At the halftime, I was able to catch up with Coach Scott for the Foley Lions, ask him what his message was to his team during halftime. He said he just told them that we have to take this one step at a time. 21 points are not scored in one play, so he said we just have to keep on going, play some clean football, clean some things up, and then start making that positive yardage so that we can hopefully get some points on the board and see a different result at the end of the game.
All right, Kim, we appreciate that. Thank you so much. Try to get the stats up right quick before they kick off here in the second half. Foley's scheduled to receive the second half kickoff from MGM. They're on top 21-0. And there it is. Look at the rushing yards from Mary G Montgomery. 149, 110 through the air. A total balanced attack, 259, 2 turnovers. Look at the penalties, 12 for 75 yards. That's not going to make Coach Golson happy at all. Corey.
19 total penalties here in the first half. You mentioned it, Al, early in the broadcast. That's week 0 numbers to where you're getting fresh back to football, not week 5. So both of these coaches are going to want that cleaned up. We'll see what the final numbers are at the end of the game from a penalty standpoint.
For Broughton tonight, he has 4 receptions for 58 yards, 3 touchdowns. For Jeremy Minhennett, he's 9 for 14 for 110 yards. And those 3 scores, of course, to DJ Broughton, and a flag on the kickoff right there. So it looks like we may have a do-over.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, retry for kick.
And Jake Gordon will get a do-over.
And that's something you don't want to see coming out of the half. Another penalty to add to the collection, make that number 13, lucky number 13
and that's
for the
a
Vikings.
Total of 20 for both teams, Corey.
And, you know, some scores going around. Williamson dominating BC Rain 35-0 at the half. And a high-scoring affair, Saraland over McGill-Tooling 34-3. And also Faith Academy leading Alberta 31-6. Gulf Shores leading Blunt 28-0. And St. Paul's up on Theodore at the half 34-21.
That's a good game down there at Theodore with Steve Massa and Ham Barnett going at it. LaPooch kick, that's a live ball. That is a live ball that's captured out of bounds by Cameron Page. I really don't understand what Jackson Dixon was doing, Corey. He was just kind of lollygagging to the ball like, I guess I'll get it, I guess I'll. That's a live football. It went 10 yards. It's live.
And you're lucky that you get a lucky bounce because MGM was running its lanes to retrieve that football. And, you know, that's a break that Foley's offense has to take advantage of. They cannot afford here to go 3 and out. And Coach Derek Scott. It's hard to believe he's already spent 6 years at Foley and has done a tremendous job turning this program around, and it'll take another tremendous turnaround here by the Lions in the second half to get back in this one possession at a time.
1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. Holmes rolls out to the left, throws back across his body, pass incomplete. I did not see a receiver anywhere near it. So to take it to 2nd down here for the Lions.
Yeah, that's hard to do. Anytime you start to roll left and you are left-handed and come back to your right with pressure being applied, it's almost impossible to complete and to step into that type of pass and throw that you would like to.
You talk about Derek Scott in his 6th year, Corey, at Foley. He's 26-28, 0-1 in the playoffs. Now, overall, his career, he's 67-49, 8-6 in the playoffs. Has a .578 career winning percentage as a coach. 2nd down here for Foley. Pass a bit high. Did he get the feet down? Let's see. I don't see an official coming up to spot it, and we're going to say that's incomplete.
So now,
3rd down.
Being behind the sticks at 3rd and 10, you're allowing this Viking crowd coming back from the concession stands to ring those cowbells and to get back in it here in Sims, Alabama.
Quite reminiscent from last week up in Citronelle when they were ringing the cowbells up at Memorial Stadium. Trip receivers to the top for the Lions. Holmes airs it out. The closest person to it is Carson Hedrick. And incomplete. You can see the arm for Holmes, but no receiver near where the ball came down.
And anytime you have an opportunity to come up and be the closest person to the ball as a defender, you love that. But the ball was out of bounds anyway. And here on special teams, we talked about the speed of Shundell Harris along with Allen on this return. So be careful if it is not a great punt and they're able to field it for there to be an absolute track show going on.
High snap to Matt Hudson over his head. He's got to get down, and they're going to tackle him, I believe, at the 2-yard line. George Washam, our white hat, with the spot. Bad special teams blunder right there for the Lions.
Chris Wiley, 5'6", 158-pound senior with the special teams tackle, and that's something that you could ill afford to see, especially creating a red zone, short yardage, goal-to-goal situation right at the 3-yard line. And you can expect here those offensive linemen to go to work here deep in the Lions territory.
So ball now spotted at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal from the 3. I think it's time for the Cam Smith show, Corey. They give it to Smith, untouched as he runs it in to pick up his first touchdown of the night.
Eric Griffin, Braden Patterson, right tackle, right guard on the right side of that offensive line, made it to where Cam Smith could just walk into the end zone, getting his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Number 0, score 6 for the Vikings.
Jake Gordon on for the PAT. Don't see any flags on the play. Well, there it is. Here it is.
Legal substitution on the offense. On the 5-yard penalty, replay for try.
Good eye by our statistician, China Powell. Flag was thrown inside the 5 here on the near side, so that's going to push Jake Gordon back 5 yards for the extra point.
Easy stats right there to tap in for China and Matt. 1 play, 3 yards.
No abacus needed for that one, Corey.
None at all, making that one
maybe,
quite
what,
easy.
3 seconds, if that. So far tonight, Cam Smith, 14 carries for 84 yards. He has 1 score. And Gordon's extra point is blocked. So they blocked a field goal and they blocked the extra point. Our score 20-0. So correction, 27-0.
Hey, Mobile County parents, it's time to launch your little learner into success with the Mobile County Public Schools First Class Pre-K program. If your child turns 4 years old on or before September 1st, they qualify for this incredible opportunity. Online registration begins January 15th, so don't miss out. Visit MCPSS.com for more information and a complete listing of pre-K sites, screening, and selection information. The MCPSS First Class Pre-K program, where big dreams start small.
We welcome you back to E.S. Grider Stadium. MGM pretty much gets the gift right there from Foley. Corey, I can't say it's a points off turnovers, but it's kind of like points off turnovers by tackling the punter at the 3-yard line. It's a gift. It's a gift from Foley to MGM right there.
Quick scoring opportunity, and that's the stop that you wanted to see. But here is what you want to see if you're the powder blue team, the home team. You want to see a great tackle on special teams and a 3-and-out by the Foley Lions. Great job of angle, pooch, sky punts, or sky kickoffs there for MGM.
And notice Cameron Page immediately called for a fair catch this time.
That was smart, learning your lesson from the previous play. But Mekhi Holmes, we'll see him be able to roll to his left here where his strength is, as he has the entire field to operate with. If MGM gets pressure in his face from the right side as he's rolling left, he has to quickly get rid of this football.
1st and 10, the ball is on the 24-yard line for Foley. Technically, this is their second series here in the third quarter. Up the middle with the carry, Dominic Marshall. I thought we would have been calling his name a bit more tonight. He picks up about 4 or 5 on the carry, so brings up 2nd down here for Foley.
Devin Petway and Shondell Harris in on the tackle. What you don't want to see here if you're MGM is any more penalties being called, or making sure that you're not looking at the scoreboard and just playing the next play.
2nd and 5. Setting it up for Jackson Dixon. And correction, setting it up for Shondell Harris. Nice tackle right there by Harris.
Shondell Harris, the Jacksonville State verbal commit, free safety impact player, makes an impact hit stick right there, textbook style, absolutely planning Jackson Dixon where he dug in, and you couldn't create a better highlight or textbook tackle than what Shondell Harris just made, folks.
1 yard loss on the play. 3rd and 6 here for the Lions. As we said, trying to get a first down, trying to get some rhythm, trying to get some consistency. Setting up the screen. They do get it complete. Get the first down and a bit more. DJ James with the reception out of the backfield. So 1st down for the Lions.
And that's a huge, huge 1st down for this offense and Gary Johnston and head coach Derek Scott, because it allows your defense to rest a little bit, and it again moves the chains, moves the sticks, but a great play call because MGM really with its ears peeled back went ahead and brought the house, and it was a great play call and execution.
17-yard reception right there for James. They give it to him on the carry. He's met by Devin Petway and a few more Vikings at the line of scrimmage. Takes a 1 yard loss right there. Take Foley to 2nd and 11.
And Petway is 6'2", 210 pounds, and receiving that Alabama interest, University of Alabama interest from Kane Womack from his defensive coordinator position. Already a Jacksonville State verbal commit along with his teammate Shondell Harris. So Jacksonville State doing a great job of tapping in here locally to some great MGM talent.
empty set for the Lions. 4 receivers here to the near side. Some type of tunnel screen possibly being set up. No, it's all go routes. As they go deep, trying to connect with Dixon. Was he in bounds? And they're saying he grabbed. No, that's Cameron Page at the 26-yard line. I thought he was out of bounds, but they say he is in.
Trying to go tempo now, hurrying back up to the line of scrimmage, as that is a great thrown pass by Mekhi Holmes, the left-handed right along the left hash, over the shoulder catch, put it in the great place where only the offensive wide receiver can catch the football.
Quick handoff to DJ James. He's tackled near the numbers, right close to the 20-yard line, picks up about 5. They'll spot him at the 21. 2nd and 5 coming up here for the Lions.
And I know the Vikings, won't be scared to call a timeout to settle down their defense, because this Lions offense has come out roaring here on this drive, showing us something they haven't shown us all game long, the consistency to move the sticks.
Cameron Page tackled right there by Carson Hedrick, but it should be enough for the first down as he gets to the 16-yard line, and the chains will move.
Another first down, and only 2 first downs the entire first half for the Foley Lions, so they have really stepped things up here. But the clock continues to run with 7:30 remaining here in the third quarter of action, with a fresh set of downs in the Vikings red zone area.
Al Wheaton, Coral Bounty on the sidelines. Kimberly Dunn bringing you 7A Region 1 action here in Sims, Alabama. Foley and MGM. Look at Jackson Dixon with the footwork as he is leveled by Devin Petway inside of the 10.
Great tackle by Petway, but it's also an outstanding play call, finding the impact player for the Lions in Jackson Dixon. And he comes away with a reception. He has 133 yards receiving on the season, but here it is now, 2nd and 3, yards to go for the Lions.
Ball at the 9-yard line, the 9th play of the drive here for the Lions, going for the fade route in the corner. And did Page come up with it? They're fighting for it.
That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. 9-yard grab by Cameron Page. Even though a flag came in, you can see the officials signal it right there. It's a score for the Lions, so they get the goose egg off the scoreboard.
Cameron Page, 6'2", 175-pound junior. There's going to be a PI, I do believe, called on this play. But what outstanding eye-hand coordination by Page, being able – the jump ball or the tie ball is going to go to the wide receiver. And that's exactly what we had there in that situation, as we had a tussle at the bottom of the pile for the football. But Mekhi Holmes with an absolute strike in regards to location of that football.
Pass interference. Defense. 15-yard penalty will be administered on the ensuing kickoff.
Alberto Vargas on for the extra point. They will assess the penalty on the kickoff. And Foley needs one more player on the field to make it 11.
Well, the Lions come in averaging 16 points per game. This defense of MGM gives up 17.8, and they give up their first score of the night. But that's a phenomenal drive by the Foley Lions, and exactly what Coach Scott needed to put energy back into this Foley Lions crowd.
That was huge right there for Foley. They needed to get some momentum going. We talked about some rhythm. They showed some rhythm right there, Corey, and punched it in to get the goose egg off the board. So 27-6 is our score, as the Lions still trying to show some life. We got a break here. Let's take a look at some middle school scores from yesterday. Booker T. Washington all over Callaway Smith, 28-6. It was Burns on top of Hankins, 14-8. Williamson Prep gets the win over Alba, 8-0. Look at Causey over Sims, 30-6. Lott picks up a win over Phillips, 26-22. Clark Shaw with a win over Chastain Fournier. Also, Grand Bay shuts out Mobile County Training And we had to save the best one for last. China Powell, athletic director at Scarborough, gets the win over Matt Moore, the battle of the statisticians. He's the head coach at Pillins. Matt told me this, Al, we were up by 2, 47 seconds left. They give up the score, Corey. 8-2, so Pillins takes the loss to Scarborough yesterday.
Bragging rights belong to China.
China Powell's got the, but Matt said they might meet again later on in the playoffs. Don't forget, we're going to cover the championship game October 16th. Boy, these two over here talking smack. It is hilarious. But I love it, man. I love it.
We always love the friendly competition. Athletic director and also head flag girls football coach and girls basketball coach China Powell does a phenomenal job, along with our brother Matt Moore, having his squad always vying for a championship. Onside kick out.
Onside kick, live ball. And it appears as if MGM has come away with it. So Foley saying, hey, we got to do what we got to do. No heat timeouts. We're under 7 minutes here. Down 27-6. They're going to pull out all the stops. We had an onside kick. We had a hook and lateral. Who knows what's coming next here from the Lions. But get yourself ready.
Yeah, I still love that hook and ladder play that was called earlier in the game. Executed very well by Foley, doing everything but getting into the red zone. And we have seen trick plays. We've seen onside kicks. We have seen special teams really be a difference maker here as far as fakes and onside kicks. And
blocked field goal and a blocked extra point tonight, Corey.
So definitely that third phase paying dividends, and we'll see Menhinnet dig in here and see if they're able to ground and pound here to end the third quarter.
And off to Cam Smith taking his time. They're reminiscent of Derrick Henry, the way he's sized and framed up. Flag back near the 35-yard line.
There is a flag.
Right now, let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She's with a special guy. We talked to Zach Golson the other night. He said he has a special coach on the team yesterday. Kim, who are you talking with?
All right, I'm here with Javoris Petway. He is a student and athlete here at MGM, and I just wanted him to share a little bit about his story. So can you tell us what role do you play here on the football team?
I currently play coaching as a running back, and I'm just trying to help these boys get better so they can play D1 football. And I'm just working on myself because I tore my ACL, so I'm trying to get back right. But after I do that, I just plan on going to play D1 football at Miles College. And I also got offers from West Alabama, but I'm committed to Miles.
Yeah. So Coach was telling me before the game, at the beginning of the season, you tore your ACL, which kind of put you out for the season. And I know that's disappointing when it's your senior year, but you found a way to make up for that by supporting your team. So what are some of the things that you do to support them? I know you said coaching, but what kinds of things do you tell them?
So I try to encourage them, make sure they don't keep their head down. I know some of the boys, they don't get enough playing time, so I try to keep them up. And I run them through drills over there. So I try to keep them right, get them better so they can be best they can. I want them to be great.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, we wish you the best of luck. We're excited to see your future. I'm glad that you've already got some offers to some colleges, so we'll have to keep our eye on you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Kim. Great story right there. Coach Petway with the whistle, keeping them live, Corey, and I like that. He wants them to keep their heads up and get some playing time. Great story right there. Flag comes in as Menhinnet just throws it away.
And that's going to be easy call as a holding. But Javoris Petway, Coach Petway, as we now know him, again, was the starting running back and continues. When you can't play due to injury your senior year, you know, there's no extra COVID year, there's no red shirt year in high school, so you just continue to find a way to contribute to the team and to be a positive leader. And even though he's not on the field gaining any yards, he's definitely helping his teammates stay mentally fresh, as he mentioned. And it's always great to have a student athlete, one of your peers, be able to encourage you and to go ahead and get you ready each and every week.
As we told Coach Golson, we're gonna let him get his shine on during the game, man. So we appreciate Kim talking to Javoris and letting him tell his story there. Because it's a positive story. I mean, it's unfortunate it's his senior year, but he's going to try to make something out of the best of it. Here's the look at the hole right there. You can see it right in front of you as Menhinnet throws it away. So going to take MGM to third down. 3rd and 16 coming up here for the Vikings. Pass complete to Breeze Brown. He breaks away. If he can break one more tackle, he might have enough. I think he may be a yard short of the first down. The line of gain was the 41 of MGM. I think they're going to spot him at the 40.
And as you're talking about spotting, across the way, WHEP, the Foley Lions radio broadcast, I have to give a shout out to my guy Clark Stewart from WHEP. His son Joyner Stewart, who is a twin. Of course, Derek Scott is a twin as well.
Sure is.
But Joyner Stewart running this defense for Foley, and always love to see our comrades in the media at any of these events, and Clark Stewart is a Foley legend.
Cam Smith picks up the first down. Ball sitting at the 46-yard line. They go back to Smith. Look at him hit the hole. Corey, he was shifting from third to fourth gear in mid-process as he ran north and south.
Yeah, making it look real easy as this Foley Lion defense continues to get worn down. Jatavius Jacobs comes up and makes the stop for the Foley Lions, the 5'9", 175-pound junior. So I will say now MGM with another nice drive trying to answer this Foley Lion score.
That was a 10-yard run by Smith. They go back to him again. He picks up another 7 or 8, continuing to bruise this defensive line of Foley. As I said, they're not built for strength. They're built for speed, only averaging 213 pounds across the defensive front. Second down here for the Vikings. Could it be another dose of Cam Smith? Let's see. They're going to pass this time. Wide open, Jakenyon Allen does the juke move as he gets out of bounds near the 21 or 22-yard line, but it moves the sticks. It's another Vikings first down.
Jakenyon the Jet is what I'm going to call this young man, because he can just flat out fly at accelerated speeds. The 5'7", 155-pound junior with another reception for MGM, moving the sticks. And Cam Smith has over 100 yards rushing in this contest.
Foley has called timeout. As you said earlier, Derek Scott's got to give his guys a break here, Corey, because the Vikings are continuing to run it down the throats of the Lions. We'll take a break and come back. Correction, we're going to take a look at the middle school standings right now while we have a break on this timeout and see how things are looking in the small division and large division. So in the small division, Booker T. Washington on top as they are 2-0 in division play. Small division number 2, Lott undefeated at 2-0. Lott won the championship last year, Corey, as a matter of fact. So that's quite interesting. In the large division, look at Scarborough, 2-0. Clarkshaw 1-1 right behind them. And in large division number 4, Causey at 3-0 and Burns at 2-1. So things are getting tight. So the middle schools have a playoff chase just like the high schools do as well. So it's going to be coming down. A couple more weeks left here in middle school because October 16th, that's the championship game. We're going to broadcast it for the small and large division.
Is the championship game, and I know that both these teams are playing champions as well. And you know, we got a chance to see both of these bands perform at halftime. Our former teacher, Richard Brunson, tuned in tonight, so we want to thank him for tuning in as you see a great run as a fresh back gets in almost to the 2-yard line.
I believe so, up to the 2 or the 3. Nice run by Thomas White. And Mr. B checking us out tonight.
Yeah,
okay,
Mr. Brunson, and the reason Mr. B has us locked in, his son Ben, working with the Foley band. He's the band director at Foley Middle School that feeds in, of course, to Foley High School. So that's always great to see. And in the red zone, MGM trying to make that powder blue jersey hit that black and powder blue end zone.
So it's spotted at the 2, and it's a 2-yard score for Thomas White. The first 3 touchdowns through the air, and the last 2 on the ground for MGM.
Easy answer for the Vikings after that score, and 59 total yards by Thomas White to go along with the over 100 yards by Cam Smith. So that 1-2 punch has been dynamic. I want to thank John Vella again, AL.com, for always helping us out. He's going to have a great story that you'll want to check out tomorrow on AL.com or later on tonight on AL.com as well, as there's a special teams fake.
MGM goes for 2 right up the middle. Cam Smith. And I think Smith comes up short on the 2-point try.
I don't know. Did they give it to him?
No, it's 33-7. So he came up a bit short on the 2-point. I thought he was in
Look
myself.
at the spot. I did.
I thought he was in.
See if the leg or the knee touched first. That's
the touchdown right there from Thomas White.
And he just walks in standing up. But a great answer coming off of the first score by the Foley Lions. And, you know, I will say in talking to Derek Scott, Coach Scott, former Golden Eagle from Hattiesburg, having an opportunity to leave Viger after appearing in a state championship game and go over to Baldwin County and, again, helping turn that program around. And it's hard to believe that he's already in his 6th year. But here's the 2-point conversion. And I guess they say he's just a little bit short.
A little bit short. He must have been
out.
There he is. Knees down. He's down, Cora.
So just a little bit. If he stretches out before that knee touches, he may be in. But another failed opportunity for special teams. And we've seen the Sky Pooch kickoffs here to start the second half.
We have.
For the Vikings, but they have a commanding 33-7 lead.
We know Mary G Montgomery is ranked number 4 in the state. Foley since 1984. They're 11-50 against ranked teams in the same classification. So not looking too good for the Lions. Down right now 33-7. That's a live ball. Jackson Dixon picks it up off the hop. And I believe his forward progress is going to be stopped at the 21-yard line. So once again, Foley pinned deep in their own territory trying to get a series started.
Well, defensive coordinator for the MGM Vikings, Alex Page, last week he got a shutout against Robertsdale 37-0. Probably upset that they gave up 6 on that last drive.
Probably so.
Since 2000, and we know Coach Golson's only in his 4th season, but since 2000, MGM is 41-1 when allowing less than 10 points. 41-1. And on the converse side of that, Foley is 1-49 since 2000 when scoring less than 10 points.
Less than 10 right now. That's the number. Pass completed to Ryan Petalino. Our first time calling Petalino's name tonight. I think they're going to credit him with about a 1-yard gain on the reception right there. It'll bring up 2nd down and long here for the Lions.
Petalino, 5'11", 170-pound senior wide receiver, makes his 9th catch of the season for the Foley offense, and it brings up 2nd and long for the Lions.
Trip receivers to the top for the Lions. Dominic Marshall just to the left. They're going to toss it out to him on a little screen. Oh, I saw that one coming a mile away, Corey. Oh, my goodness. It is blown up.
Bush blowing up the play. Skylar Bush.
Wow.
The 6', 165-pound senior. You just loft that pass out there and laying the lumber. Is that Burning Bush? A great open field tackle, bringing up 3rd and 16 yards to go for the Lions.
Pushes them back to the 16-yard line here. Play clock under 10 for Holmes. And I believe they're going to have a delay of game. There's the whistle. There's the flag. I saw the play clock just ticking down. So delay of game called against Foley. That pushes them back 5 yards. Not what you need in a situation like this here for Coach Derek Scott and the Lions coaching staff.
No, I mean, you're already at 4th and long. And in this situation, you know, you...
Oh, 3rd down, Corey. Not even 4th yet.
You're about to be in a situation to where
it will be 4th and long.
It's no man's land.
Right. And Holmes does have an arm. We've seen him use it tonight.
But we have also seen an interception, and this is the time for the defensive lineman to get a great push and cause a turnover.
Trying to set up some type of screen to Cameron Page. I see more blue jerseys over there than white jerseys. That was not going to work. And John Vila's nodding his head like it was not going to work, Al. that was not going to work. Brings up 4th down here for the Cameron Page was on an island by himself, surrounded by blue jerseys, almost like blue water. You know, the sharks were circling, Corey.
We talk about the powder blue that MGM is rocking today. We've seen one special teams miscue already by Foley, and it set up a short field for the Vikings here in the 3rd quarter. They can't afford another one now.
Snap bit high. That punt is tipped and blocked at the line. It's a live ball. MGM just staying away from it. All Foley can do is down it. That punt was tipped as it came off the foot of Matt Hudson. So MGM pretty much doing it on special teams, offense, and defense tonight.
All 3 phases being executed and shown, whether it is them having a special teams blocked or going for 2. They have definitely put in special teams work. Coach Baxter, our guy from an IT standpoint for the Vikings, he came over from Theodore a couple of years ago, having an opportunity here to input, and that's a great view of John Vella and China and Matt and myself and Al here on top of this press box that is rain-free today.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I have to tell Kimberly Dunn, the humidity got on up out of here, too. It's been a nice breeze blowing tonight. Jet sweep right there for the Vikings. Just wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage as they tackled Jakenyon Allen. He couldn't get that speed going.
Jakenyon, the Jet, turns the corner, and you'll see him in an absolute track meet if he turns the corner. But we're winding on down the 3rd quarter here in Sims, Alabama, with a commanding 33-7 lead for the Mary G Montgomery Vikings.
Coming up between the 3rd and 4th quarter, we'll get on the Game of the Week Brain Buster question, so stick around for that. 2nd down and about 13 here for the Vikings. On the move, Thomas White trying to make his 2nd score of the night, and does he catch the corner? He does. 27-yard run for Thomas White, and the Vikings score again.
It's been the White and Smith show, all set up by the phenomenal blocking of the offensive linemen and wide receivers. And it's going to be 6 more for this MGM team as White, if I'm not mistaken now, 2 touchdowns.
It's the 2nd touchdown.
So that is 3 rushing touchdowns on the season for Thomas White.
Gordon on for the extra point. MGM blocked his last one. He gets this one up, and it is good. And MGM increases their score 40-7 over the Foley Lions. A complete control and domination here of this ball game tonight, as they're sitting in a pretty much good spot, the #1 team in Region 1 down here, ranked number 4 in the state. And all Zach Golson continues to do is just win, 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 Corey.
Yeah, that's all you can ask him to do, just being in a unique situation. Think about this. If you entered as a freshman coming in to Mary G Montgomery, you're not used to a 4-year span of winning football. You're used to maybe winning 5 games total in a 4-year career from freshman to senior season. And the number of wins that Zach Golson has brought to this program, entering his 4th year, already being 4-0, and consistently continuing to win, not having a losing record since taking over as head coach.
So here's a note. He arrived in 2022. The Vikings are 15-4 at home. Their last regular season loss, Corey, was against Fairhope in 2022. Now, they've lost a playoff game here at home. But they have not lost a regular season game since Fairhope in 2022.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the first round matchup last year against Vestavia Hills, who came in here in the first round and upset MGM, and that being in part a lot to DJ Broughton not being able to play or participate, and not taking anything away from the great job that Vestavia Hills did. They executed their game plan perfectly to end the overall home winning streak here. But the regular season winning streak has continued, which means there's been plenty of 7A dominance here within the time frame that Zach Golson has taken over.
Foley trying to get something together here. Run right there by DJ James. Picks up about 4 or 5 on the carry, pushes the ball up to about the 24-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 6 coming up here for the Vikings. Holmes looking to the sideline to get the call. And I think Derek Scott may be calling a timeout. Nope, there it is. End of the 3rd quarter. They just let the clock run out. They were not going to get a delay of game. So at the end of the 3rd quarter, our score is 40-7. MGM up by 33 points. And between the quarters, so let's get up our Game of the Week brain buster question for you here, Corey. All right, here we go. Since Class 7A was formed in 2014, there have been 11 schools in our area who have played 7A ball. Which current or former 7A teams has MGM never defeated 3 times in a row in Vikings history? Is it Fairhope, Murphy, Foley, or McGill-Toolen? So since Class 7A was formed in 2014, there have been 11 schools in our area who played 7A ball. Which current or former 7A teams has MGM never defeated 3 times in a row in Vikings history? And yes, Corey, this question has 2 answers.
Okay, it's multiple choice. First and foremost,
I know you're happy it's multiple choice.
Absolutely, and those that are
now you don't
Facebook,
have to reach out to John Thaler.
No. I mean, those that are on Facebook or YouTube or just
don't
yelling
cut the
to
game
your
off.
television, go ahead and let me know on social media who you think the answer is A, B, C, or D.
And speaking of that, if you're on social media and you're checking us out, let us know where you're watching the game at. We'll give you a shout out as well. Makai Holmes shouting it out deep, and that pass should be complete. No, incomplete. Jackson Dixon could not get his feet down in bounds. You see the arm right there of Makai Holmes. This kid is a sophomore, Corey.
Yeah.
So Derek Scott's got a future with him.
Left-handed quarterback, southpaw style, and Coach, in talking with us and seeing what they have on paper, a lot of sophomores and juniors.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of youth being served on this football field. And it's just going to be important here to continue to convert first downs here to keep the defense off of the field. But they're trying to shorten the game using as much time on the play clock as well.
3rd down here coming up for the Lions, 3rd and 7. Holmes tosses it out a bit high for his receiver, intended for Ryan Petalino, and that'll bring up 4th down. Corey, you just talked about the youngness of the Lions, the youth that they have, and something else Coach Scott told us Sunday I've never heard a coach say before, and he kind of leveled with us. He said, Al, Corey, it's kind of like this. Where we're living at and working at in Foley, I have kids who are actually working, not playing sports. They're making $15, $16, $17, $18, maybe $19 an hour. They're bringing home paychecks $700, $800 a week. So that's a bit more enticing than them going out for football, and that has had an effect on his numbers. Remember, Foley's a 7A school, so for you to bring 55 players, that was a head scratcher. We said, Coach, where the rest of the kids at? He said, I'm a level with you. I'm having an issue outside of athletics. These kids are working and making money.
Yeah, I mean,
it is what it is.
It's a different time.
Yeah.
That a lot of our grandparents and even our generation that graduated in the late 80s, early 90s, you're seeing a transformation of a lot of the dominant powerhouses that once were. And again, we love Samuel Petway watching from Seattle, Washington. Wow. But it is a different dynamic that we are dealing with. And these young people being able to have these opportunities for workplace and workforce learning while in high school is something that is continuing to grow across not only Mobile County Public Schools, but Baldwin County Public Schools as well.
After the penalty, Foley decides to go for it on 4th and short, and Zach Golson wants to call a timeout. So let's get our answer up right quick here. We don't have any more heat timeouts, and I think we're going to be on a run clock in a second anyway. All right, Corey, here's the question once again, and we'll try to reveal the answer here. Since Class 7A was formed in 2014, there have been 11 schools in our area who've played 7A ball. Which current or former 7A teams has MGM never defeated 3 times in a row in Vikings history? And yes, this question has 2 answers.
All right, so I'm going to go A and D.
A and D, Fairhope and McGill too.
That's the 2 that I want to go with, right. A and D, since you said there are 2 answers. But if you'd have just given me one choice, I would have gone with A.
A and D, and John Vila saying, no, that ain't it. All right, we're going to get them to press the button in the trunk. Corey, the answer is Murphy and Foley. MGM has never defeated Murphy and Foley 3 times in a row. But here's your +1. With this victory tonight, it's the 3rd in a row over Foley.
And Murphy's not on the schedule any longer.
And here's your extra +1. In 3 weeks, they'll play Fairhope. If MGM beats Fairhope, Corey, they will have defeated every team in 7A 3 times in a row in the past 3 years.
And that's
think about that Zach Golson effect right there.
It is.
That is unreal.
That you can see why he continues to grow this program in the right direction, and why you see so many young people want to continue when they have that 8th to 9th grade ceremony where they put those jerseys on those 8th graders in their feeder programs to put on that MGM Viking powder blue or black for the first time. It's a special opportunity, and he's created a culture that the boom from a growth standpoint here in Mobile County has been out west.
It sure has.
Whether it's MGM and or Baker, and that's huge. And you get a chance to get some backups in the game, some 2s and 3s going deep in the depth chart.
Thad Wilder comes in as quarterback now, and they're giving it off to Elijah James. Actually, we saw James playing earlier in the first half for MGM, so grab hold of your roster, buddy. We're going to go deep here for the next 8 minutes.
And, you know, sometimes you hit that running clock standpoint, just a little tall sweep. Great job of him cutting back and making defenders miss, but fresh bodies, Cam Smith, Thomas White, and now the 3rd touch by Campbell, and we'll see the O-line continue to plug away.
Look at James go up the middle, kind of doing his best Cam Smith impersonation there, Corey, if you want to call it. Wow. And inside the red zone once again.
1st and goal from the 10.
As we're looking at Ladd Peoples Stadium as well, Williamson shutting out BC Rain 48-0. And if you've heard our broadcast here of Williamson the last couple times we've had, I said they have the best defense in the state. And you can't get any better than 0 points.
Just got a score check from Clem Richardson Stadium. It's 20-20, Baker and Daphne with 7:23 left in the ball game.
Yeah, that's a critical matchup
that is.
Again for playoff positioning. Daphne coming away last week, you know, with the win, and next week MGM taking on Baldwin County, and Foley with the bye before hosting Fairhope at home. And you in the red zone now, you just want to continue to add that scoring average. The offense averaging 33.5, that scoring average is going to go up a little bit.
Wilder hands it off once again. James with the carry, pushes it forward a bit more. Brings up 3rd and goal here for the Vikings.
No, that's Simon Pruitt, a freshman running back. deep in the
brought in
fourth
another
touch.
one on them.
Yeah, Simon Pruitt, 5'8", 170-pound senior. They're having an opportunity to get his first touch of this contest.
James now back in the ball game as Wilder looks to the sideline to get the call. 3rd and goal here for MGM. Wilder rolling out, trying to find a hole. He's a tall guy. They push him out of bounds. But that'll bring up 4th down here for the Vikings.
One thing the 6', 165-pound sophomore has to make sure he does is secure the football. And you don't want to hold that football out, as MGM now will have an opportunity to go ahead and kick a field goal. And it looks like that ball is going to be spotted right at the 10-yard line. So a 27-yard attempt here for the Vikings to put 3 more on the board. Running
Gordon's
clock.
earlier field goal was blocked, and this one is up, and it is good. So he is 2 of 3 on the season, and that extends the lead by 3, 43-7. Outstanding performance here by MGM tonight. Cora, who are you thinking about for your Career Tech Education Player of the Game?
DJ Broughton.
I am too.
Has had a phenomenal game, along with Cam Smith. He had a great game. Shondell Harris has had and made an impact from his free safety position.
Thomas White, not Thomas White.
Yeah, Thomas
White came in, scored 2 in the second half, a 2-yarder and a 27-yarder. But I'm kind of thinking about the Broughton fella. I mean, those 3 catches early, that kind of lit a fire under the Vikings there, Corey.
Well, it's always great when you see an impact player cash in on their capabilities.
That's true.
And living up to the hype that we do have. And the 6'5", 225-pound senior, if he is an early enrollee, it'll be one in which Robertus Kimball, MGM's basketball coach, will be sad to see DJ Broughton leave the hardwood. But you have to give it up to DJ, who's worked extremely hard in the weight room and in the offseason and has continued to produce.
I will say this, Corey, Foley's down right now, but their band has been active all night. Right now they have on, I don't know if these are their devices, but they have some lights kind of lit up over here on the other side of the field. They're having a good time, man.
No matter the score, you only get an opportunity to experience Friday Night Lights, and underneath the lights as a student once in your lifetime.
I can remember that. A face mask is called against MGM. All right, let's get up our Career Tech Education Player of the Game, and it is DJ Broughton. 3 scores tonight, Corey, through the air, and as you said, the impact player definitely had an impact tonight for the Vikings early on, got them boosted and got them pumped up to go.
And that's what it takes out of your impact players. You want impact players to make a difference, and that's exactly what we have seen, is a difference in that. So once again, you just have to have an opportunity here, if you're MGM, to look at the film and find a way to make the corrections on film going into next week's battle with Baldwin County.
Especially the emotions that Zach Golson talked about with Kimberly Dunn. You got to keep the emotions in check. Oh, that's a fumble live ball. It could be a scoop and score for the Vikings, taking it to the house. That is going to be a touchdown off the defense. Timothy Hughes with the scoop and score takes it in. Turnover for points for MGM.
And we talk about putting more points on the board. Tim Hughes came in only having 1 tackle on the season. Now he has 6 points The 5'11", 170-pound junior corner comes up off the turf, the scoop, the score, and the scoreboard increases with the running clock here, making it 49-7.
Corey, he might have earned himself a spot on the good hands team for onside kicks. I mean, he was Johnny on the spot, scooped up the pigskin and took it to the house. We can get that replay up from my buddy Charles in the truck. I want to see that one again myself. That was beautiful, man.
And what you love to see is the excitement from the sidelines and his teammates, and just the hard work pulling or coming off for Timothy Hughes. And again, Hughes with the scoop and the score to finish things off for the MGM Vikings, and hanging half 100 here on Foley High School with the clock remaining. We may not even get a kickoff here, as the clock, I think this game's going to come to a conclusion.
This is going to be it, because Coach Derek Scott and his crew, they're pretty much walking to the middle of the field. Complete domination, 50-7 for MGM. And they came in tonight, MGM averaging 33.5 points on offense, only giving up 17.8. So they hit their numbers for sure. They kept the defensive scoring average down, and they blew out their offensive scoring average. Averages put up 17 more points, Corey.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Coach Golson wanted the equation to be, is a big-time win, looking forward next week to Baldwin County. And you look at what MGM needed to do well to win this game. They had to present Viking viciousness. Well, that scoreboard says they did a great job. They dominated the trenches. They did not limit the penalties. So 2 out of the 3 things that were on my checklist, they did not do well. And I'll also say this, Foley, a young squad, when you look at these final stats, 229 total rushing yards, 366 total yards, no turnovers, 3 for Foley there at the end. The penalties, 16 and 8, you know, that's 24 total penalties, over 150 total yards, but 50-7 our score.
Negative 11 rushing yards. So, Corey, this is our 3rd week in a row we've had a negative number for the losing team. Unbelievable. All right, next week, we're going back up Highway 45. It's out-of-region play, so 7A Bryant is going to take on 5A Citronelle. For Kimberly Dunn, Corey Bounty, our statisticians, China Powell and Matt Moore, I'm Al Wheaton, thanking you for tuning in. Boy, we asked for some big boy football, and we got it tonight. MGM brings it home 50-7. Have yourself a great weekend.